What's up, Coffee Beans? High quality Discord people checking in. Hell yeah, let's go. I love those high quality Discord people. Emma, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Diego? What's up, JT? How's it going, everyone? What's up, Fansome? Hey, I don't know how Discord works. Oh, that's too bad. I wish I knew where you were at with Discord, so maybe I could explain whatever information you're in need of, but unfortunately I do not. But just keep on double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Let's try to get this live in front of as many people as we can. Are you Irish? Yes, I am Irish. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I've never gotten a DNA test, but I've been told by my parents that I'm like Irish German, so I don't know. So just keep on double tapping on that screen share with your friends. All that good stuff, all that jazz. Are all Discorders high quality or just specific ones? Just specific ones. You know, the ones who are active are typically pretty high quality. And then sometimes there's like some reactionary conservative who finds their way into the Discord, and we all like spend weeks of time bullying that person, and then eventually they leave, or they get banned for breaking whatever rules we have in place for proper behavior. Pete, thank you so much. Appreciate that. But share it with your friends. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you are 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. If you don't meet that criteria, don't request to join. And with that, we can go to the very next guest, but keep on tapping that screen. Try to fill that silly little bar in the corner at least one time for each of you. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Basil?
Hello, I love you. I'm an atheist. I'm a ex-Muslim.
That's very sweet, but I am only looking for debates. I love you too, and W guest, but I'm only looking for people who disagree.
Oh,
Hey,
I want to
what's
say
up?
that I love your content. Hello, I want to say that I love your content. You are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's very kind of you, but I am only looking for debates. So W guests, W love. I appreciate your love. And you know what? I love you too. Thank you so much, all of you, for your incredible support and consideration. But if you disagree with this, if you think that God is real, I'd love to discuss it with you. And I appreciate all of you are just so kind. So let's get some W guests, and with that, we'll see if we can't find one. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Peace be upon you.
Okay. How old are you?
I am 40.
And what religion?
I'm an Ibrahimite royal priest, meaning that I believe in Jesus Christ.
What is this?
We talked before. I was telling you about the matrix of the language of Hebrew and things like that.
Okay. So what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Mathematics.
What about mathematics?
Which mathematics does involve personal experience, by the way. Give me an idea of something that doesn't involve personal experience.
When I say personal experience, what I mean is like a personal anecdote about like a time where religion was super helpful for you, or a time where like whatever. You know, eventually, at its core, the way we learn stuff is always going to come from the perspective of the individual, right? Like I'm only able to know these arguments because I personally studied these arguments. So that's like in a sense personal experience, but that's not the sense of personal experience I mean when I ask people to not share their personal experience.
Well, I mean, I can show God in anything. So like you can just pick anything that you want because you
a
can
kid
show,
with cancer.
Yes, you can show God in cancer.
Yeah, show me God in a kid with cancer.
Oh, it's a kid with cancer?
It was a kid with cancer. That's what I said the first time.
Oh, I thought you said cancer.
Yeah, kid with cancer. Go for it.
Yeah, I can't put it like I could just do cancer. You know what I mean?
I thought you said that you could find me God in anything.
So I mean, yeah, you could say, "Hey, can you find God in Shabba-doo-goo-goo, which you go to with you know what I mean?" Like,
Yeah, but that doesn't refer to an object in the world, whereas a kid with cancer does refer to an actual object in the world.
Okay, so it doesn't matter that you're using kid or dog or banana, you know what I mean? But cancer is a decay. So here's God in cancer. In Hebrew, the word for rot or decay, right, is mak. And the mirror to that word is quam, which means to rise or resurrect. So there you go. God is the mathematics of opposites, rising or decaying.
Wait, so in what sense of the word? So this is just saying like, well, you see this phenomena, well, that's God. By this logic, you would accept Zeus because you can point to lightning bolts and say, well, that's Zeus. You'd accept Poseidon because you can point to the ocean and you can say, well, that's Poseidon. You can point to the sun and say, well, that's Apollo. So just pointing to a phenomena and then saying that's God doesn't actually prove that God is real. What's your evidence that cancer is like the absence of God?
Yeah, I never said the absence of cancer and everything that you can mathematically see, actions, reactions. This is what God actually is. So determine how you're saying God, you like want it to be some personal thing or being or man, when God is simply relative direction. Like that's what God is. So like you'll see that God of this, or like the God of air, or the God of walking, the God of this, the God of that. It's just a general term. But in a sense, in the West, this is what you all do. You turn the general term into like a person. And actually, the Most High God actually is a person. But the general term God, you all don't understand.
I'm sorry, do you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran?
Yes.
Which one?
All of them. Am I faithful to all of them is what you're asking?
Or do you believe, which one do you believe in?
I believe in all of the gods. I understand what gods mean is what I'm saying to you. So you're asking me which one am I faithful to? That's what you really mean to ask.
Is it true that there's no God other than Allah?
That's like an oxymoron saying. The way that you say God in Arabic is Allah. So like that's not a name or anything. People think that that's a name, but it's not.
Wait,
So
but you affirm, because that's what the Quran says, that there's no God other than Allah.
Well,
so
that's
do you
what
agree or
English-
disagree?
That's what English translates, is what I'm saying to you. That's like saying there's no other God but God. Like when you say that to me, that's how I hear it. Because I know that the word God is Allah in Arabic. In Hebrew, is El Hayim. So that's like saying there's no other El Hayim other than El Hayim. It's an oxymoron.
Yeah, that's nice, but you're just not really engaging with the question. Do you agree with the sentiment that's conveyed in that verse?
I don't agree with how it's taken. You understand? I agree with the actual reality of what's being said. I don't agree what you think about it. You understand?
Well, I'm not sure how you have access to my thoughts and what I think about it. I've asked you like nothing but questions in regards to it. So in what
because of the
sense do you
West.
believe in that?
I mean, I'll tell you how I have access to your thoughts, because like you operate as an American, and because I'm an American citizen, we are privy to similar things or relative things. I was privy to thinking like, okay, when the Quran says there's no other God but Allah, thinking that meant what you just asked me it meant. But now I know, because I understand other languages, that it's an oxymoron. It's like saying there's no other sky but sky. That's what that sounds like to me.
That's not an oxymoron, that's just a trivial statement. So do you think that God is triune?
I think that God is more than triune.
So there's more than the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's going to be a pretty big problem, right? Do you believe in one God or many?
Oh, I believe in one God.
Okay, so the Father is God, the Son is God, and the Holy Spirit is God. We would have three gods in the same way that I'm a person, you're a person, and Danny is a person. We would have three
That's different
people.
though.
In what way?
Now you're saying like, I want you to understand, when you try to explain these terms in English, it's not the same as in Hebrew. So like when even you say God, right, you're saying singular, but in Hebrew, the word God is El Hayim, which is saying powers. So if you're asking me, hey, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are all powers, there's one that's even left out of that, which the English says that it's a power as well, which is love. So when you say, do I believe in the Trinity? I know that that word is just made up by English people looking through their Bible and pointing out what they figure is powers or God, but they don't understand. So like
I think you're a little bit confused insofar as the Trinity, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, comes not from Hebrew but from Greek.
Yeah, I didn't say that came from Hebrew.
You
I think
literally did. You literally said you talked about the Hebrew words. CJ, thank you so much. Appreciate that. WCJ.
Well,
So-
now that we're ear blind to each other, I guess it'll be time for me to go. I'll try again another time.
Okay, I accept your surrender. Thank you so much for coming on up here. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. Whoa, no way. But keep on double tapping on that screen. What's up, Warner? How's it going?
How's it going, Ian? You good?
Yeah, do you have an argument for God, or do you have something else?
You know what? I won't take up too much of your time because I know you're only looking for ops, but I wanted to. There's a sort of a position that I've been running recently that I enjoy that I'd like you to look into if you have time. That you might.
Share it with me. Go for it.
It's the story of Genesis 38:8.
I think you sent me a Discord message about this, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you've had time to look over it.
I haven't looked over it yet, but I did see your message and I was meaning to get around to it. But you're welcome to tell me about it right now if you want.
Sure. I mean, it's semi-graphic, so I'll try and censor words where possible. But you're familiar with Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, right?
Not really, no.
Well, but you know who Joseph is. One of Jacob's sons.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so Jacob has many sons. His first son is called Judah, and Judah has two sons of his own. One of them is called Onan. Onan is the youngest of the two sons. So the first son marries. He has a wife. He doesn't have any children yet, but God believes him to be wicked, and so he just smites him down. It doesn't really give him much explanation, but all it says is that God believes him to be evil, so just smites him down.
Gotcha.
And so because of the covenant, that by the way was written by God, because of the covenant, Jacob then commands Onan, his brother, to then make children with his brother's now widow. Onan, quite understandably, doesn't really want to do this.
Yeah.
And so when he has relations with the woman, what he does is he pulls out and he quote unquote spills his seed on the ground. Is what he decides to do.
I think I have heard this story, and he just says that over and over again, right?
Well, he pulls out and he spills his seed on the ground, and then it says that because God believes this to be wicked, he also smites him down.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Wait, and what verse is this?
This is Genesis 38:8 is Genesis 38 is the whole story, but 8 through 10 is what I'm particularly interested in because that's where it says that because he pulls out, God smites him down, and I just think that it's almost grape by proxy, for want of a better phrase. You know, God's sort of forcing. I guess not forcing intercourse, but certainly forcing the result of the intercourse, and says that, well, if you're not going to do it, then I'm gonna smite you down. And not just this, the reasoning for him having to do this, because I've had a conversation with someone before, and they say, well, you've disobeyed God. And sure, he disobeyed God, but the whole reason that he had to do this in the first place was because God unalived his brother.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have to do this had God not unalived his brother.
Oh, sure. So that God is basically like set up this scenario where he had to do this. Well, first of all, how young was this brother? Is this like a baby brother? Or is this like a?
It doesn't.
Okay,
As far as I'm aware, it doesn't say.
Yeah, wait, that's no, that is like a pretty crazy story.
But if God knows everything and he knows the results of his actions, then surely he should know that by smiting down the elder brother, he would then force Onan into a position he knows that he doesn't want to be in, that would also result in him also smiting Onan down. So perhaps the covenant could have been written in a different way, or perhaps God, in the same way that God softens Pharaoh's mind, could have perhaps softened Onan's mind into making him actually have a child that he didn't want to have.
Yeah, it does definitely seem pretty weird that he smites the brother, and then if he knows everything, then he knows that he's going to have to smite, what is it, Onan?
Onan, yeah.
Yeah, that he's going to have to smite Onan, and then he smites the brother anyway, and then gives this command to Onan, which he knows he's not going to do, and then smites him. It does seem pretty weird, yeah.
A command which, by the way, he wrote, because obviously God has written the covenant. It mentions further in, I think, Numbers. I forget the actual reference of it, but in Numbers and Deuteronomy, where they just kind of repeat themselves over and over again. I've started reading the Bible, and it's confirmed why I sort of turned away from it as a child. It repeats itself in Numbers and Deuteronomy about this covenant, and says that it's a rule that if the eldest dies unalives without any offspring, then it is, by covenant, it is up to the brother to then carry on the task that he wasn't able to complete. And if not, he has to go to the front of the town and spit on his sandal, and then forever becomes the unsandaled, is the way in which it says it. But it seems like spitting on a sandal is probably a far easier thing to do than just being smited down.
That's true. Yeah, no, that is just like an insane story. But no, I agree with that sentiment. I feel like the more Bible stories I hear, the more it's like crazy to me that anyone believes in this, because it's just like story after story that's just completely insane.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up my entire childhood. I won't take up too much more of your time. I grew up my entire childhood as a Christian. I grew up in the church, and it taught me a lot of really good things, which I actively use in my life and want my children to see. But I think there is when you actually read into it and read what you didn't read as a child. Yeah. I decided recently, I've been following this thing for my whole life, but I've never actually read it cover to cover, and it only took me until, that's in Genesis. That's the very first book of the Bible. It took me until the end of Genesis to go, hang on a minute, why did I even follow this? I'm 5 books in now. I've just got into Joshua, which is the one after sort of all the books of laws. And it's very, actually reading the Bible does make me think.
Yeah, no, it really does. I'm probably going to move on to the next guest, but I appreciate coming on up here.
Also, I want to say, mate, I'm so proud of how much you've grown this platform, by the way. I know when we first met, I don't know how big the platform was, but you've bossed it, mate.
I appreciate it. And typically it's even bigger when it's not during like election season. So it's really big right now. And
I enjoy having it on in the background, mate. You've done very, very well. So
hey, I appreciate that. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks so much for coming out.
All right, bless. Have a good one.
Yep, you as well. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Let's get the like count up. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. Jams, thank you so much. Appreciate the roses. And with that, we can go to the very next guest. But make sure you're dropping a follow as well if you're enjoying the debates. You never want to miss one in the future. And if you're 18 or older, you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. I'd love to see you there. What's up? How's it going, Doppel?
I'm doing great. I believe God is real.
Which one?
God, the one that created the humans and all animals.
Is this the God of the Bible, Torah, or the Quran?
The God that created the first humans, Adam and Eve.
So is this the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran? All three of them believe in that.
The Holy Bible.
So, like Jesus, do you believe in Jesus?
Yes, I believe in God and Jesus.
Gotcha. Well, so first of all, if you're a Christian, then Jesus is God. Fun fact. That's just the Trinity. But second of all, what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
My strongest belief of God is he can save all people that are honest. He can save everyone, not the ones that are Muslim or Buddhism supporters, but he can save Christians.
Okay, so God is real because God is real and he can save everyone. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. So I have a question for you. Can you tell me why my power strip isn't working?
Your power strip isn't working because it's not in a plug-in spot. So
Yeah, it's exactly right. Yeah, it needs to be plugged into something external. Similarly, your argument for why God is real also needs to be plugged into something external. All you're doing is saying that God is real because God is real. It needs to go a step farther and a step outward.
correct. God is definitely real. I believe in God, and I have.
Yeah, wait, so what's the evidence that God is real?
Well, my evidence is he controls all of the weather. He's the cause of how people are born, and he's also the cause of how people can end up dying. Like, you can't just kill yourself because that's against God's rules. You can't kill yourself because if you
Okay.
kill yourself, you'll be going to the underworld.
Okay, so you're essentially saying that God exists because God exists and he causes all the weather?
Yes, he causes all the weather, all the rain, snow, sleet, and all the natural weather disasters.
Yeah, okay. So do you think that like Zeus is real because he causes the lightning?
I'm not sure about that because it's been years since I read anything about mythology. The last time I read anything about mythology was in 10th grade. However, I graduated 10 years ago.
All right, well, I'm probably going to move on to the next guest, but I do appreciate you coming on up here. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Dropping a follow as well if you're enjoying the debates. You never want to miss one in the future. And with that, we'll go to the very next guest. So make sure you're double tapping on that screen, doing all that good stuff. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Jackson?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Doing well. How old are you?
Eon. Is Eon your name?
It's Ian.
Ian, okay. All right. I guess my biggest argument for why I think God's real is what is it? I don't know. So you're going to know a lot more of the names and everything. This is just what I've heard pretty much. What is it? The 12 apostles, whoever they were, John, Luke, and all them. They went to their graves basically saying that what they saw was real after being stoned and all that?
There's no evidence of that.
All right. Okay, I guess I don't know too much of the evidence into it, so I don't know if it was widely accepted or not. That would have been my only argument. But
Yeah, so the
I'll
only
be
place where it
personally
says that is the Bible, which of course is the book that you're trying to prove.
and you would need more than that to prove that. Okay. That makes
Yeah, I
sense.
would just need like something external. Like if there was a historian who said that they did that, especially one from like around the same time period, then I'd find that to be pretty credible. So I think the historical evidence is that 3 of them were martyred, but none of them are known to be martyred in the name of the resurrection. So you just your evidence that it's true is just that they were martyrs. Unfortunately, there are martyrs for literally every religion.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right,
Do you
I
have
appreciate
anything
your time,
else?
man. Nah, not enough that I know of.
All right. Well, appreciate coming on up here. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Let's get to 50K likes. Drop a follow as well. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. Make sure you're sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. If you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. It's discord.gg/allegedlyian. Love to see you there if you're 18 or older. And if you want to support the stream, the Venmo's allegedly-Ian, and the Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Appreciate any and all support. With that, we'll go to the very next guest. What's up? How's it going?
How you doing today?
Doing well. How old are you?
37.
Okay. And what religion?
Pretty much Muslim.
Okay. I don't know what pretty much Muslim means, but what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Okay, so okay, so pretty much just walking a straight line with God, bro. Like in a physical mindset, like not just thinking about, oh, I'm in my head all the time thinking about like this one God that is out there. You know what I mean? Like actually, the people around you, bro, the people that want to help you, bro, the people that are there positively to make you a better person. You know what I mean? Like those are the people. You know what I'm saying? That you have to open your eyes and you have to realize that, you know what, if these people believe in God and we believe in God, then obviously we're living in a world where we all agree that God is here.
Oh, I don't agree that God is here. I need evidence. Do you have evidence?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People that are naturally nice and people that want to help people, that is God energy. A positive lifestyle, and you can look even inside of the Bible. Look at the Bible. It's a positive. It's a, you know what I'm saying, the cross. That's a positive sign. If you take away one line, the lateral line, it becomes a negative energy, and then you go the other route, which is the devil. So it's like a polarity, bro. Like you have a choice. You know what I mean? And
wait, but you're a Muslim.
Yeah, but I was raised in like a Catholic family, like growing up, you know. So I saw the negativity, you know what I mean. I had to see that because I had to find God myself, bro. Like you some people like you are blessed enough to have to go through bad to actually see the good. You know what I mean?
I'm not really interested in personal experiences, but do you have any actual evidence? Because all you're saying is like, look at this phenomena in the world. This phenomena is God. This is the ancient Greek logic. Look at the lightning bolts. That's Zeus. Look at the ocean. That's Poseidon. Look at the sun. That's Apollo. What's your evidence that these things are God?
Just living in like Los Angeles, bro, like living in like within like poverty, like seeing like that's evidence, you know what I mean? Like if for people that have to go through bad to actually see good, you know what I mean? And sometimes some people are blessed enough to not have to go through that, and they'll search and search and search their whole life, like trying to find like a physical evidence, but it's actually faith, bro, and what you have to go through. You know what I'm saying? Like
why does God allow some people to be born into poverty and then they never find God, and then they are also unalived in poverty? Like, why would God allow for that?
I mean, well, then you got to think about it too. It's like, look how much you have to pay for certain schools. Like, you know what I mean? Certain people, they don't have that financial, like that upbringing, you know what I mean? Like some people are banned to that. And I feel like maybe that's karma, bro. Like maybe that's something that people have to deal with in this life to get to the next life, to finally see it. Like, you know what? Like, I like in the Muslim faith, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? We what we do in this life, you know what I'm saying, determines what we're going to do in our next life.
Wait, so are you saying that if you are born into poverty, then it's because you did something in your previous life to deserve it?
Possibly, bro, like possibly.
So you're
like,
saying that the people in poverty deserve to live in poverty?
And then look at the way that they come out. Do they continue to stay and do drugs and be a bad person? Or do they get their shit together, maybe find some type of God, maybe to spirituality, and give themselves and say, you know what, like, I pray that I get out of this, you know what I mean? And that's what you have to do. You got to dig deep as a person.
Do you think people who are graped did something in their previous life to deserve it?
I don't understand what grape to me. What does that mean?
It's like graped without the G. I can't say the word on TikTok.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So,
yeah. Do you think those people, the people who experienced this, did something in their previous life that like made it happen to them just as karma?
Yeah, because I've been with like a girl that has had that happen to her before, and she still turned out to be like a really bad like alcoholic. Like she never like even got any of her stuff like I guess like together or something. But like I would never want to like wish that upon anybody. And you're a really strong man for like having that mindset, because a lot of people like they do look past a lot of that type of stuff, you know. And I feel like people that have to go through stuff like that, man, like maybe they mistreated a woman, like, you know what I'm saying? Because talking about like men can also be raped by women too, you know. And what? Yeah. And what if he was what if he was a womanizer his whole life? You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. So you're saying that people who are raped deserve it?
I mean, yeah, man. Like sometimes you gotta reap what you sow. You know, sometimes like if you are who you are, like you're gonna get that karma, like you say, and also to dharma. You know what I'm saying? The bad part of the karma. You know what I'm saying? Like we all have to take something up with God.
Okay, well, I appreciate you coming on up here. I'm gonna move on to a less crazy guest because that's fucking insane to say that people who are graped deserve it. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. Let's try to get that bar all the way filled. Let's get all the way up to 50K likes. I mean, I guess that's just the reductio, right? But if you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. If you want to support the stream, the Venmo's allegedly-Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. And with that, we'll go to the very next guest. And if you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. Love to see you there. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Good, man. What's happening? I just joined, so I caught the last bit of what you had there. But what did you want to talk about? You were trying to get people that had some evidence or different things other than personal experience.
Yeah. What religion are you?
I'm not a part of any religion right now.
Do you believe in Jesus?
Not the aspect of him being a real person or anything like that. No.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm only looking to debate people who believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. If you don't believe in the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran, I'm probably not going to debate with you. Sorry about that. As we go to the next guest. Hey, what's up? Doing well. How old are you?
28.
And what religion?
Christian.
Okay. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
My strongest argument?
Yeah.
Have you seen what's going on in the world right now? Biblical prophecy.
Oh, yeah. Interestingly enough, the prophecy that was given is that Jesus would return before his generation ever passed away. But his generation did pass away and he didn't return.
No, he didn't.
Do you just want to read the verse? We can read the verse.
Yeah, he says, "Verily, verily, I tell you, until this generation passes away, all these things must take place."
Yeah, what does this generation mean?
Right about, right?
Yeah, what does this generation mean?
So he said, once all of these things happen, that's the key word. He said, once all these things happen, this generation will not pass away.
No, he says, okay, wait, let's just get the verse.
Yeah, you can grab it and read it word for word if you want. I don't have my Bible right in front of me.
Matthew 24:34. Grabbing the... Yep. Okay. And then we'll read the full chapter. Okay.
Yeah, so he explains
truly I tell you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have taken place. But these things did not all take place, and the generation did pass away.
He said this generation will not pass away. Right before that, he's talking about the parable of the fig tree. You do know that, right?
Yeah.
Once you see the fig tree bloom, just know that my coming is near.
Yeah. So one of the things that it talks about, it says that he's going to return, but the generation will not pass away until he returns. But he didn't return, and the generation did pass away. So this is a failed prophecy.
Again, the parable of the fig tree, that generation is what he's talking about. Once you see its fig trees blooming, then know my coming is near. That's what he's saying. So obviously he's talking about Israel becoming a nation. In the book of Isaiah, he even refers to the fig tree and it blooming and being dormant for 2,000 years. That happened. So he said once.
That's just not the word that's used. So if that was the correct interpretation, it would have said, truly I tell you, that generation will not pass away until all these things have taken place. But what it said is, truly I tell you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have taken place.
Have you looked up the Hebrew word for this? You do understand it means that too, right? Just depending on the translation you go to.
We can certainly look. I mean, if you want me to bring up like someone who knows Hebrew, or no, not Hebrew, Greek. It would be Greek.
Yeah, no, actually, it is Greek. You are right. I don't know if it's Greek. We'd have to look at that. I'm curious, actually. I'd like to look into that. But no, so biblical scholars always talk about the parable of the fig tree. That's what they teach in theology, is Israel becoming a nation. That's what that's what quite a few scholars believe in, preachers and pastors. So if that's correct, then Jesus will return before that generation passes away.
Wait,
Jesus specifically says, once you see the abomination of desolation spoken about in Daniel the prophet, none of that stuff happened. He said, once you see all these things, then this generation will not pass away. You're just focusing on one word. I'm telling you everything.
No, because
every word.
The one word completely changes the meaning of it. In fact, if you go back to the Greek, the word that is used, but not where you want it to be. The word this is different from the word that in the ancient Greek.
Where's my Bible at, actually? Let me pull it up for you so I can explain a little bit better. I've studied Matthew 24 time and time again, and I will tell you firsthand that it is talking about all of those things happening at the same time. Once you see that, that generation or this generation will not pass away. That generation he's talking about is minding your generation.
Wait, so the Greek word for that is ati, but the Greek word for this is ate. So it's just two different words. Unfortunately, what it's talking about is this generation. When I say, if I talk about this car, that's going to be different from if I was talking about that car.
Okay,
these words just mean something completely different. And the reasonable interpretation is that he's talking about this generation.
Can I say something?
Go for it.
Thank you. So I will tell you, it actually is talking about the generation of Israel becoming a nation. What was it, 34?
No, because he would have used the word that generation will not pass away. But he said this generation will not pass away.
So, okay, well, you can focus on one word. I'll tell you the meaning of what it actually means. Let's get off that since you want to use this.
Okay, so then if you want to concede that argument, which argument do you want to pivot to next?
Okay, so first off, in Isaiah and here, it says, you will see Israel becoming a nation. Once you see this nation,
wait.
that generation won't pass away.
Are you moving to a different argument, or is it the same argument? Because I'm not backing down from this point.
I just want to, I'm not either. I just want to conclude my point there. But obviously you're not going to budge at all in understanding or have ears to hear. I mean, it doesn't really matter. He's coming back. You're going to bow down to him. We all will.
Okay, that's nice. Wait, so this prophecy has not yet been fulfilled, to be clear? So even if I'm fully wrong about the Greek translation, which I have no reason to think, this prophecy has not been fulfilled. Is that correct?
The abomination of desolation is the only one left. Once you see that, then run.
Gotcha. Wait. So okay, awesome. So this is a prophecy which has not yet been fulfilled. So why would I accept a prophecy that has not been fulfilled as evidence? You know, you can as soon as Christ comes back, then I can accept this as evidence.
Well, let me answer that. Every single one has been fulfilled, even the fig tree, besides Daniel. That's about to happen. And that's my next argument. That's my next argument.
So as soon as Christ comes back, then we can just cross that bridge when we come to it. But until then, the prophecy hasn't been fulfilled.
For you, brother.
That's nice, but I'm just interested in the philosophy.
Okay, so the philosophy behind Daniel 9, or my next
Grimlock, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Hail Grimlock, hail 666, hail Satan. Big W Grimlock in the comments section. Let's get a W Grimlock spam going down in the comments.
My next point that I want to give you is Daniel 9. It says, once you see the abomination of desolation spoken about Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, then know my coming is near. Daniel
wait. 9, so has this prophecy been fulfilled?
It's currently happening, yes.
Oh, wait. So who's returning?
What do you mean who's returning?
Who is return? Wait, so whose coming is near?
Jesus.
Gotcha. So this prophecy hasn't been fulfilled until Jesus actually comes back. Little Sandy, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
No, first we got to go through the 7-year tribulation, and then that's my next point.
Yeah, wait. So after
let me-
after literally any of this, after any of these things happen,
what you're asking for is historical facts. I'm giving you present facts. So let me say it first. If you don't
that's
mind.
really nice.
Do you mind
if
me
you want to
speaking?
present me with the present fact of Jesus returning, that'd
Do you
be
mind
really
me-
cool. Yeehaw!
It says-
Thank you so much, Shari.
It doesn't say Jesus is returning. It says God isn't real. I'm going to show you why God is real, because what the Bible that you're arguing against actually shows us that we're living in today's times. So,
Yeah, wait. So people have thought that we were in the end of times for literally all of human history,
well, let me
or for
finish.
all of history since the Bible. Everyone thought that we were in the end of times.
Well, you keep interrupting me. It's kind of rude. Do you mind if I
Trisha,
speak?
thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. W Trisha in the comment section. Appreciate that.
Do you mind if I speak
Yeah, go for it.
without interruptions? If that's okay.
Well, yeah. Are you gonna tell me about a prophecy that's actually been fulfilled, not one that's going to be fulfilled?
Yes, and I will tell you about a prophecy that is fulfilled. Yeah, I will.
Yeah, one
So-
that has already been fulfilled. Go for it.
Yes, Daniel 9. It actually talks about red heifers with no blemish that will be sacrificed on the Temple Mount, and then the third temple will be built. We currently have those red heifers. That prophecy fulfilled. Red heifers with no blemish. We have 3. We've had 0 in over 2,000 years.
Yeah, so the reason why
Can I
they
make my
did
next
the red heifer stuff is literally because the Israeli government wanted to appeal to evangelicals.
Okay, let me tell you this again. They have not had a red heifer with no blemish in over 2,000 years.
Yeah, and
Now
let
they
me
have 3.
tell you this again. The reason why this happened is because the Israeli government wanted to appeal to American evangelicals.
Okay, well, whatever you want to say, I'm just going to keep going, and you're going to have a reason why the Bible's incorrect, even though I'm showing you things that are in the Bible that was 2,000 years old is currently being fulfilled. And yet you still have a reason and another counter argument to say, oh, no, that the reason why that's happening today is this, actually.
I'm
not
sorry that I have a
Let's
counter
ignore that.
argument. I
you're
apologize
trying
for
to
having counter arguments.
No, the only thing you're saying is, no. The reason why that's happening today, I know
Gideon,
that.
thank you so much for the galaxy. I appreciate that. W Gideon in the comment section. That's so cool.
I know that's currently happening, Austin, but let's skip that. It's because of this, not that reason. No, I'm pretty sure the 4,000-year-old book is correct over you. I can make a counter argument. I can make a counter argument for anything that you tell me, including Kamala Harris isn't vice president, and I'll tell you why. I can give you a counter argument.
I'm not interested in this like political waffle. Like that's obviously not true, but I'm not interested in exploring that conspiracy with you.
But I can give you counter arguments for anything, is my point. Even though I'm showing you a 4,000-year-old book, that you're even agreeing with me that these things are happening. You just have another reason why it's actually happening.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
the sad part.
I'd be happy to set you sources that explain exactly what I explained.
I can happily send you sources that explains exactly what I explained.
Would you have any like more arguments to
Yeah, I do.
prove it? Any like fulfilled prophecies?
Yes, I just told you.
Yeah, which ones?
Red heifer with no blemish.
And I've
That's a
already
prophecy.
explained to you why this
You're
is like
incorrect.
something that's artificially produced. Are you interested in a source on the matter?
Okay, so yeah, you could send it to me.
Yeah, so it is. The source is international.la.croy.com. In Jerusalem, the Red Heifer worries religious and political leaders, discusses how this is literally just an attempt to appeal to American evangelicals.
Gotcha. So Jewish citizens that do not believe in Christianity did that to appeal to American evangelicals? No, that's not the
Correct.
case. Do you even
Yes,
know-
because that's their
that
defense
is so
like
false. Do you even know?
it's
Do you
connected
even know
to the defense
Jewish
of their
believe?
country. Yeah.
The Jewish believe that
Yeah,
they
it's
do not
literally
believe in the
because
Messiah.
Israel
They do
is
not
doing
believe in
this
Jesus.
so that they get a continued American support.
Incorrect. First
It's a
off, they don't
political
even believe
maneuver.
it.
It's
No.
not a religious one.
Do you even know who's building the third temple?
No, I have no idea. Who is?
The Temple Institute. So you obviously can't speak on this. if that's the case.
Wait. So why does that change the facts of the matter that this
It
was
changed the
a
facts of the
miracle
matter because
artificially produced?
you're going to a source that's saying one thing, but you don't even know who's doing it. That's
Daniel,
sad,
thank you
brother.
so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Hail Daniel, hail 666, hail Satan. Big W Daniel in the comment section. I appreciate the hell out of that.
And
If I get one that's 777, then I'd be happy to do that.
And I'll tell you another one that's being fulfilled. You're actually a part of this one. Men's hearts will grow cold, and men
Oh
will
yeah, the
become
fool
lovers of
says there
themselves.
is no God. Yeah, cool.
And men will become lovers of themselves. Ian,
Wait.
you're
How
the
about you?
perfect example
How
of
about
that.
you give a real argument?
Okay, I'll continue. So just to prove your point, you don't even know who was building the third temple, but you're giving me a site about the third temple.
Yeah, because
That
this is
doesn't
a
make
fact
sense.
it's a fact that I happen to know that this is all being done regardless of who's doing it. This is all being done in the name of appealing to like evangelicals.
And then the second point, I mean, what's crazy is you're sitting here like actually trying to make an argument about Jewish people trying to appeal to Christians who they hate.
Yeah, for
That is so
geopolitical
false.
reasons because America is like the biggest supporter of Israel, yeah. It's actually
And then-
not that complicated.
And then obviously the Israeli government, by the way, isn't even a part of this. It's the Temple Institute and the Jewish community. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's still being done to appeal to evangelicals.
No, it's not.
I just
Why?
cited you a source, big dog. What's your critique of my
Okay.
source?
I'll send you all the sources. Do you know the biggest
Chris,
donators?
thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Hail,
Did you
Chris.
know that the
Hail,
US is not-
666. Hail, Satan. Big W, Chris, in that comment section. Appreciate it.
Did you know that the U.S. is not donating whatsoever in regards to this conspiracy or this thing that you're talking about? Zero.
It's about maintaining political support.
Political support is naming Jerusalem the capital city of Israel. Political support
Lots of things are political
is backing
support.
them. Political support is backing them up in the United Nations and saying we are
Lots
here
of
to
things.
support
Lots of things are political support.
Israel.
Lots of things are political support.
So, and then that's my other point.
Yeah,
So
where do you want to pivot
the
to
fact
next?
that you don't even know. The fact that you don't even know about that is sad, man. Like, do some
Wait,
research
does
before
this
you
like
argue
bad
somebody
faith?
that
Does this
knows.
bad faith tactic work on anybody? Does like literally anybody ever buy this argument? That like, well, you don't know this hyper niche
Buy what
specific detail,
Christians-
therefore that means
that
that,
the
you're
Jewish
wrong.
community is trying to appeal to Christians? That the Jewish
Yes,
community is trying to appeal
yeah.
to Christians? Yeah, that's a bad argument.
Yes. That's because Israel
a
literally
really
relies
bad
on
argument.
American support. It's just basic geopolitics.
Question, do you even know what Jews believe
In regards to what?
in regards to anything? Do you know what their Jewish belief system is?
Yeah,
Okay, what is it?
more or less. In regards to what? Which part are you interested in?
Let's do this part. The Temple Mount, the third temple being built, and their Messiah. Let's go there.
Yeah, so they believe that the messianic prophecies have not yet been fulfilled.
What messianic prophecies?
That the list of messianic prophecy, all the messianic prophecies that I think are in Isaiah, maybe. Although I'm not 100% sure on that. Just but that all the prophecies
Sorry, I
about
couldn't hear
who the
your voice
Messiah.
was kind of screeching there. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, that all the prophecies
Yeah.
about the Messiah have not yet been fulfilled.
Okay, so all the prophecies about the Messiah haven't been fulfilled. Do you know what their belief system is as far as the Messiah returning?
Yeah, just that it's going to happen one day. That
No,
it's not
like
Jesus.
The characteristics. The characteristics of the Messiah.
Yeah, so for example, that he would be the king of Israel.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so was Jesus the king of Israel?
Yes, he's actually the King of Kings of Israel.
Oh yeah. Oh
king
wait,
that
wait.
you're
So can
talking
I get the verse that says that Jesus became the king of Israel?
There's literally Lord in almost numerous verses.
Yeah, wait. But the king
Numerous
of
verses,
Israel
they call him-
specifically. Can I get the
They call him Lord of
not
Lords,
not in like
King
a
of
metaphorical
Kings.
sense, in like a literal sense? Can I get the verse in a literal sense?
In Revelation, it calls him the King of Kings, Lord of Lords.
Oh, that's really nice. But can I get the historical time period where he actually ruled Israel?
Well, so my belief system, yes, he's going to rule Israel he rules Israel right now, and he's going to rule Israel for 1,000 years.
So can I get the verse that where he like literally rules Israel?
Where he literally rules Israel?
Yeah, where can I get the verse? I seem to be forgetting this in the life of Jesus, where he became ruler of Israel.
What do you mean by ruler of Israel? Like Pharaoh?
That he sat on like the throne of Israel.
This throne, no, the kingdom of heaven. That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the prophecy is about being the king of Israel.
Yeah, there's no prophecy about him being the king of Israel. He is the king of Israel.
Oh yeah? Wait. So, okay. Messiah prophecy. King of verse.
And then there is a prophecy about him being the king of Israel for 1,000 years. But he is currently the king of Israel, as far as what Christians believe.
Okay, wait. So we got you have enlarged your nation and increased their joy and rejoice. Okay, Minutes defeat. Okay, everyone blah 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 blah.
And then
establish and upholding it. Okay, wait. Of the greatness of his government and peace there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne and over his kingdom, establishing and upholding it with justice and righteousness from that time. The zeal of the Lord Almighty will accomplish this. Jesus never ruled Israel, unfortunately. So
he will reign on David's throne. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, that he'll be the king of Israel.
Correct. There is a prophecy about him being the king of Israel, and he currently is the king of Israel as well.
Wait, but you said that there was no prophecy just 5 minutes ago. I think you're confused. Are you are you walking that one back?
No, I said that there is a prophecy about him being king for 1,000 years, the one that you just read.
Yeah, wait, but you said that there was no prophecy about him being king of Israel.
About him being king of Israel itself. There's a new Israel. Not this Israel, the new Israel.
Wait. So, okay, then that just takes out all of your other arguments about what's going on in Israel, because all these other prophecies about the return of Jesus were talking about the old Israel.
All these prophecies about the return. What did you just say?
Yeah, because all the mentions of Israel are about the old Israel, so that just takes out all your arguments.
No, it doesn't.
If you draw a distinction, if you say new Israel is different than old Israel, then that just takes out all your arguments.
If you know the Christian Bible, then it actually does not hurt my argument at all.
No, it does, because you now draw a distinction that spikes all of your arguments just all the way out of the debate.
How?
In that you now draw a distinction where you say where all the mentions of Israel in the Bible, in the Torah, are talking about the old Israel, which means none of the stuff about like Israel and its kingdom as being indicative of Jesus coming back are going to be talking about new Israel, because they're all talking about the old Israel.
What are you talking about? Everything that we've been talking about so far leads up to him reigning in the new Israel for 1,000 years.
Yeah, wait. So are these prophecies about old Israel or new Israel?
So let me freshen you up on the King James Version, the Christian Bible.
Yeah, you probably do need to read it. You're desperate and looking for facts to get out of this.
Everything that we're talking about so far, old Israel besides 1,000 years. That's the new Israel. But abomination of desolation spoken about Daniel has to happen first. Currently happening, prophecy that's been fulfilled so far, red heifers, no blemish. Next prophecy that will be fulfilled,
already answered that.
Temple. Is a third temple being built. They will be sacrificed on the Temple Mount. And then after they're sacrificed on the Temple Mount,
cool. Come back. Wait. It sounds good. Come back to me as soon as Jesus returns.
Well, I'll give you another one.
Wait. It doesn't matter. Come back to me after Jesus returns.
No, your argument is not Jesus returning. It's God being real, and I'm proving.
Yeah, so your argument, because you seem to be confused about it, is that the Bible is true because the prophecies are true, but the prophecies are not true until they've been fulfilled.
What are you talking about?
So until the prophecy is fulfilled with the return of God, then there's nothing.
I just gave you two that are fulfilled.
Wait, but the actual thing that needs to be fulfilled is the return of Jesus. Because these are the prophecy is not just that it will happen at some time, but specifically that it will happen before the return of Jesus. So you just need to demonstrate the return of Jesus for the prophecy to be true.
Okay, let me help you out here. So you want to believe in it now while the prophecies are currently happening? Because once that prophecy is fulfilled,
I just don't care. I'm interested in the philosophy.
Ian,
I do not care.
let me
I
finish
don't
first.
care about how it affects me personally. What I'm interested in is the philosophy of it. So if you have an argument for how he's fulfilled the prophecies, or for how the prophecies have been fulfilled, despite Jesus not returning a key part of the prophecies, then go for it. But otherwise, I'm not really interested.
Okay, let me help you out then. You do understand that I'm going to go kind of off topic just a little bit, but you do understand there's something called YouTube, and there's proof of Jesus' existence with numerous people being healed by Christ. Africans right now currently are having a revival because Jesus is healing millions of people.
Do you think Jesus is in
Left and
Africa
right.
right now?
Jesus is in us.
Wait,
Jesus
but you
is
think
healing numerous
Jesus
people.
is in Africa right now?
Jesus, the Holy Spirit?
Can I get
Jesus?
Can I get a citation?
The Holy Spirit and Him currently healing people across the world is happening right now. I'm going to give you a prophecy just to help you out. The U.S. Mystery Babylon isn't going to be here soon.
Oh wait, so
you
this
need
is
to
another
come to
prophecy,
Christ.
another prophecy unfulfilled, another prophecy that you hope will happen in the future.
Another prophecy unfulfilled.
Yeah, another unfulfilled. You're literally just citing unfulfilled prophecies. This is
Okay, let me
evidence
go to
for
one-
my
let me-
argument, not yours.
Let me go to one that's fulfilled for you then.
Yeah, give me a fulfilled prophecy that's
Another
like
one.
interesting.
Let me go to another one that's fulfilled for you, since you don't believe me. That is being fulfilled. Revelation 17. Mystery Babylon, great mother of harlots, an abomination of the earth. I saw the woman drunken with blood of the saints, and with blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with admiration, and the angel, wherefore didst thou sit? I will see the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that sawest, the bottomless pit. So this is talking about the U.S. and the judgment that's about to come upon
Wait,
us.
wait. Oh, so another unfulfilled prophecy. Another prophecy that still involves things that are going to happen in the future. You're just full of all these unfulfilled prophecies. Every
This
time you
isn't-
cite a prophecy that has not yet come true, that's more evidence that atheism is true, by the way.
This isn't unfulfilled because it says right here.
Wait, so then where's what's the punishment? Is this punishment that has currently happened? Also, I seem to have missed the words "the United States" in what you just said.
Okay, so let me go to this one for you since you want to sit here and argue. Where's it at? Give me a minute while look it up. So, talking about the great whore sitting upon many waters, holding the cup. And then, obviously, you don't see it, but that is the U.S. That's currently what is happening right now. Sadly, Ian, like, you don't believe this. You're going to have every argument possible
Sure
to not
don't.
to.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this means.
What this means is the U.S., God's done with us. The abomination, us killing, unaliving infants, God's done. He's not playing anymore.
Wait, so
That's
I
what
got
that
a question
means.
for you. Are you referring to abortion, of course?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Why would God design the female anatomy such that it leads to miscarriage 70% of the time? Why would God kill so many babies? If you sit down and total it all up, it adds up to 400 billion. So why would God take the lives of 400 billion babies? Why would
Are you trying
why
to
would he
justify
design
abortion?
anatomy in that way?
Are you trying to justify abortion?
Oh no, I'm trying to ask you
your
why
point to
God.
this argument here?
I'm trying to ask you why God would design our anatomy in a way that if you value the fetus, then you also must recognize that God has taken the lives of 400 billion fetuses. So why would God do that? If you're off the app, I can't hear you. if you're you got to come back to the app. Stop running. He has nothing. He had nothing, and then he ran. I think the worst part is that Gideon was literally in the guest request box. I should have dropped this guy and then tried to get Gideon up there. Well, so I mean, Gideon, if you're still there, I would love to talk to you about this or anything else. But yeah, that was pretty cool that he sent a gift. That's pretty rad. But well, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Try to get that bar all the way filled. Let's try to get it all the way up to, I don't know, 80K likes. If you're enjoying the stream, want to share it with your friends, then give that a go. So just drop a follow, do all that good stuff. If you want to support the stream, the Venmo's allegedly-Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Make sure, appreciate that. And if you're in that guest request box, make sure you're 18 or older, believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and have an argument which does not involve personal experience. And with that, we can go to the very next guest. I guess it's not going to happen, but maybe it'll happen in the future. Who knows? Sherry, thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, damn, a twofer. Lost two of them. Shari, thank you so much for the superpowers. I appreciate that. If you want to join the community, as many already have, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. I would honestly love to see you there. We talk about politics, religion, and philosophy. You got to be 18 or older to join, but it's discord.gg/allegedly-Ian. Link is in my bio. What's up? How's it going?
So, I'm
old
Christian.
are you?
How old am I? 18.
How old were you when 9/11 happened?
All right.
Okay. You got to be 18 or older. Sorry. If you're not 18 or older, don't request to join. Hey, what's up?
Hold up. All right.
Wait,
So,
how old are you? Wait.
Okay,
No.
Don't try to mock me.
When you try to rev
Don't
up
try
your
to mock
lawn,
me, you fucking Harry Potter little piece of shit. Shut
when
the
you
fuck up.
when you try to rev up your
Shut the fuck
lawnmower,
up. Shut the fuck up. No. Hold up. Shut the fuck up, bruh. Shut the fuck up, bruh. Oh my god, look. Unfulfilled prophecy. Shut the fuck up.
when you're starting up your chainsaw.
Bro, no. Okay, hold up. I got a good question for you real quick. Hold up. Look, I got a good question for you real
Yeah,
quick.
go for it.
All right, now. How do you know Satan exists? Tell me that. Come on.
He doesn't.
Okay, exactly. Oh hell, Satan! Imagine, bruh. Imagine that.
I don't know why you're raising your voice to mock me when my voice is deeper than yours.
Because I
That's
can,
okay.
bro.
If you want to be out of
have
line
to
with
raise my voice to
reality
it.
with that, in addition to your religious beliefs, you're welcome to be.
In addition to your religion, bruh, shut the fuck up, bruh. Do you even know the prophecies of God? Do you even know that? Tell me.
Yep. Did you know that the prophecy is unfulfilled and is impossible to be fulfilled?
Yup. So you said yup.
I didn't say
you said
yup. I said yup.
Oh yeah, because I'm mocking you. Shut the fuck up.
Gotcha. Yeah. Wait. So do you want to take like a big deep breath? Because you seem pretty upset. I'm sorry if my content has.
I am pissed off.
I'm sorry if my content has upset you this badly, but let's just take a deep breath. It'll be okay.
No. You know what? So what do you? Okay, let me ask you this real quick. Okay, what do you have against religion of God? Tell me that.
Oh, I just think it's untrue.
Oh, you think it's untrue? So now you have to come and mix in to try to get proof. You're telling me that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear what people's arguments are. I'd love to have a little debate about it with anyone who's interested.
Oh, so your debate is basically coming into useless arguments.
I don't think they're useless at all. I think philosophy is extremely useful.
No,
I think that if you engaged in philosophy a bit more, you'd be able to have a better argument for your beliefs. If you like being logical in your beliefs, if you like doing things for reasons.
No. Hold up.
Batman.
Hold up. So you came in disrupting our beliefs.
If you don't like it, scroll.
Just to make you to make yourself feel good.
If you don't like it,
fucking
scroll.
start an argument for no reason.
If you don't like it, scroll.
If you don't like it, scroll.
So, why did God say that it's okay to own slaves?
nie stoor nie. Ek bekommer uit. Ag, gaan ons gaan.
Say it
Oh,
again?
don't let your mom hear you. What did God say it's okay to own slaves?
Okay, but what does your religion say anything about mocking ours? Tell
I
me
don't
that.
have a religion.
Oh, you do?
I certainly don't.
Atheist. It's
yeah,
atheist.
It's not a religion. A religion believes in supernatural stuff. I'm a naturalist, as are most atheists.
Ja, maar yes, iets anders vanaand.
Oh no, your mom walked in. That's so sad.
Bro, I don't really care. Do you think I care?
Why did God say that it's okay to own slaves?
To own slaves? Where did he say to own slaves?
Leviticus 25:44 through 46.
Oh, praat met ander mense. Klim vanuit jou.
Waarvan jy los my uit
Ja,
en
oké.
laat ek doen wat ek doen.
Ja.
There we go. Yes. Okay, tell me. Okay, let me go search this up. Wait, what did you say?
Leviticus 25:44 through 46. Do you want to read for the class?
All right, let me just boot on my PC real quick.
Yeah.
Slaap. Kom, pas jou. Bekkie toe.
Because I don't believe you at all right now.
Oh, well, you're in for an unfortunate time.
Oh, we'll see.
I look forward to you getting really quiet and submissive in just a second.
In just a second.
Yeah.
I'll read it out loud. Let's see. Hold up.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I can't believe I'm actually fucking doing this.
Yeah, Leviticus 25:44 through 46. You got a fucking typewriter over there?
No, I got a mechanical keyboard. It's loud.
Okay.
For a reason.
Gotcha. How long does it take to search up Leviticus 25:44 through 46?
No, PC slow. It's slow as fuck.
Okay.
Alright, it's starting up right now.
Hasn't even started. I can just read the verse to you. All right, you ready?
Here it is.
Yeah.
All right,
You have it pulled up. Go ahead and read it.
Now, come on, read it for me so I can.
No,
see for
no,
myself
no.
real
You
quick.
read it. If you have it pulled up, then go ahead and read it.
Male and female slaves are to come from a nation around you. From them you may buy slaves. What the fuck? You may also buy some of the temporary residents living among you and members of the clans born in your country, and they will become your property. You can make yes.
I bet your teacher probably hands you your papers back, but it's like folded downwards, so nobody else in the class can see it. I bet you're probably pretty used to that sight.
Well, where the fuck is my Bible? Hold up.
Yeah. Let's go on this journey together.
Anyway, I'm not going to change my mind from Christianity, you know that.
Yeah, wait, so why did God say that it's okay to own slaves?
I don't know, but I'm not going to change my mind from Christianity.
Yeah, wait, so do you think slavery is ever okay?
Nah.
Oh, so then God said it's okay to do something that's not okay, so God's wrong?
Copyright 1973, 1978, 1974, 2000.
Reading the copyright isn't going to help you.
No, I'm just reading the copyright.
Yeah,
I mean,
as
the
you
Bible
do.
changed
Yeah.
I mean, the Bible changed a lot.
Yeah. Wait. So, do you think it's ever right to say that it's okay to own slaves?
No, it's not.
Yeah. So then, why would God say that it's okay to own slaves?
No, what the fuck? No. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, it's like that. You know Ninjago. You know that scene in Ninjago when that one fucking ninja realizes that he's like a robot, and then he's like looking down at the plans, and he's like, "No, this can't be." That's like the moment that you're literally having that moment right now.
Where the actual fuck is this? What the fuck?
I wonder if we can get like a clip.
I want a clip of this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this is like the exact view of the guest right now. Yeah, don't ask how I got that security camera inside your house.
There is no cameras in my house in any way.
Anyway,
So.
then how did we get that of you just now?
That's not even me, bruh.
No! Really? That's not even you? No!
That's not even how I react. I was not like, nah. I wasn't like that, bruh.
Yeah, but
Just like,
emotionally, but emotionally you are. That's why you're a lot quieter. You really piped down.
Well, let me see the South African side real quick.
The South African side?
Yeah, my language.
Okay.
Wait, yeah. Hold up.
It's not gonna help. It's
No, it's
it's
not gonna
very
help.
clear about what it's talking about.
I'm just pulling another slide up real quick. Hold up.
Yeah, you can take as much time as you need to try to rationalize the fact that God said you can own slaves.
Were you a slave when you called? Don't let it trouble you. Although it's if you can gain your freedom, do so.
Leviticus 25, 44 through 46 is the verse.
Yeah, I know. I got a verse up, but I got another one right here. And then 1 Peter.
Did you just Google like times the Bible says to be anti-slavery? Wait, so which verse did you just cite?
I said 1 Corinthians 7 verse 21.
1 Corinthians 7:21. All right. Slave, when you were called, don't let it trouble you, although do so. Okay, but when does God say no slaves? Can I just get the verse where God says that? Can I get the verse where God says slavery is immoral?
Hold up. Live as free people, but do not use your freedom as cover up for evil. Live as God's slaves. That's 1 Peter 2 verse 16. 1 Peter
Yeah, wait, but
2,
where does it? Where does
18.
it? Can I just get the verse where God says don't do slavery?
Well, let me just.
I'm just like, so because I have a verse where God says do slavery. I'm just looking to see if there's perhaps a verse where God says don't do slavery. Damn, I wish I had my mechanical keyboard. Fuck, I wonder if it's around here somewhere.
It sounds beautiful.
Hell yeah, let's go. Alright. We gotta put up a score on Type Racer or something. While we wait for you to desperately scramble to get literally any response to this.
Alright. God doesn't condone nor does he endorse slavery of any sort. Slavery is a result of sin in the world, as in the case of Israel being held in slavery. God set them free. This shows... I was like, again, this is just something else. This shows that God desires for his people to be freed. He doesn't desire us to live a life of slavery.
That's super nice. Wait, so why did he desire for the people in the nations around Israel to live a life of slavery? Why did he desire that?
No, it says God doesn't condone. So wait, let me just see this.
Well, but he does, because the Leviticus verse, he does.
Yeah, now it says here in Deuteronomy 5 verse 15.
Wait, so this doesn't help you at all. It says, remember that you were slaves in Egypt and that the Lord your God brought you out of there with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. And the conclusion that God wants you to take away from this, therefore the Lord your God has commanded you to observe the Sabbath day. It doesn't say, remember you were once slaves, so don't own slaves. It says, you were once slaves, so observe the Sabbath. The fuck? This doesn't help you. Grimlock, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Hail, Grimlock. Hail, 666. Hail, Satan. Big W, Grimlock, in that comment section. Appreciate it. If anybody else wants to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly -Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian, while we wait for this guest to scramble desperately to find literally anything.
Exodus 21 verse 16. Whoever steals a man and sells him, and anyone found in possession of him, shall be put to death.
That's nice. So what's the order of the books? Which one came first, Exodus or Leviticus?
Leviticus came first before Exodus.
You don't even know your own religion. Ethene, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. Can you have an invention idea? Yeah.
When a man strikes his slaves, male or female, with a rod.
Take a really strong battery, and then you should take like the positive from one and plug it into the equivalent, and then the negative from the other and plug it into the equivalent, and then you just have like a battery plugged into another battery. I think that would be a good idea. Oh, wait. What's the one about beating with a rod? Let's hear the one about beating with a rod.
When a man strikes his slaves, male or female, with a rod, and the slave dies under his hand, he shall be avenged. But if the slave survives a day or two, he is not to be avenged, for the slaves is his money.
And you think that helps your case?
Oh, fuck.
So you think? Do you think that this? Joshua, thank you so much for the $7.77 on Venmo. Jesus is Lord. Hail Christ. W777. I appreciate that, Joshua. Thank you so much, Joshua. And thank you so much, God. Appreciate that, Joshua.
Just gonna save it right here.
Yeah, you've really simmered down. If you're stumped on the slavery verse, do you want to go through some more verses?
Alright, give me another visual. Go ahead, cool up.
Yeah, let's do the God. This is a good one. I think it's Numbers. What's the bear verse? No, it's Kings. 2 Kings 23:25. Yeah, do you want to read 2 Kings 23:25? Or actually, no, I'm sorry, that's a dumb question. We've all heard you read. I can just read it. He went up from there to Bethel, and while he was going up on the way, some small boys came out of the city and jeered at him, saying, "Go away, bald head, go away, bald head." When he turned around and saw them, he cursed them in the name of the Lord. Then 2 she-bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys. From there, he went on to Mount Carmel, and then returned to Samaria. Why did God kill 42 kids with bears?
I'm reading the vids for myself too. What the fuck?
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Nah, this shit got me confused. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, give you something to think about. Thank you so much for the subscription. Appreciate that. Welcome to the community. You got anything else, or should I move on to the next guest?
Let me just save this.
While we're waiting for this, if anybody wants to join the community, if you're 18 or older, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. You got to be 18 or older, but it's discord.gg/allegedlyian. We talk politics, religion, and philosophy. It's a great place to meet people. I also do a reading group every single Saturday so that people can learn more about philosophy. So if you're interested in philosophy and you're 18 or older, consider joining. I would definitely love to see you there. We're reading a paper about presuppositional apologetics and how to respond to presuppositional apologetics. The PDF is posted in the server, so if you want to get cracked at philosophy, if you want to learn more about it, the Discord is the place to do it. I would love to see each and every one of you there. Please consider joining. There's also people who talk in the live chat. Shout out live chat. But yeah, guess, do you have anything else?
Nah.
Okay, well, appreciate you coming on up here.
Alright.
Yeah, I just imploded that dude's entire worldview. Feels good. God, I love it that that bad things happen to bad people. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Let's try to get this live in front of as many people as we can. If you want to support the stream, the Venmo's allegedly-Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Both are in my bio. Speaking of, Joshua, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Venmo. Hail Joshua. Hail 666. Hail Satan. Big W Joshua in that comment section. I appreciate that. So just keep on double tapping that screen on up there. And if you're enjoying the debates and never want to miss one in the future, make sure you're dropping that follow so you never ever do. If you're in that guest request box, make sure you're 18 or older, you believe in God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. If you don't meet that criteria, not going to talk to you. And with that, we'll go to the very next guest. All right, let's see. Let's get the next one in here. What's up? How's it going, Nicholas?
Yo.
Hey, how old are you?
20, just turned 24.
Yeah, and what religion?
Christian.
What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
All right. Well, I'm gonna say this first. I don't disagree with your belief. Everybody has their own right to believe in what they want to believe. Anybody has the right to believe in whatever God they choose to believe. I was born in a Christian home, so that's what I'm gonna believe. That's the way I was raised.
So if you were raised to think that like punching babies is good, does that mean that it's reasonable to think punching babies is good?
Well, no, but I do wanna. You was talking to that young fella you was just talking to. I wanna.
You're muted. I don't know if you know that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to let me do it, but I was reading on something on what you guys were just talking about. I forget what verse you were just. Which one was it again?
The King's verse, 2 Kings 20.
No, the slavery.
Oh yeah, Leviticus 25, 44 through 46. Elaine, thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome to the community. I'm glad you're here.
If you were to go back and actually do now, like I said, I don't disagree with your belief. I mean, everybody has the right to believe in what they want to believe in. But if you was to go back and actually do the homework on it, you will see that part of the Bible was not created by the Jews.
Who is that part of the Bible created by?
Okay, I'm finna back out. It might mute me, but let me go back and read it again, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna read it to you, okay?
Yeah. Well, you need to be on the TikTok app in order for me to hear it.
Yeah. I'm on the TikTok app, but when I open up the Bible, I think
you're not going to be able to talk, but you can just tell me the name of who wrote that, because I'll tell you what, it says at the very top of it, the Lord said to Moses. The top of Leviticus 25 literally says, then the Lord said to Moses, and then all the rest of that. So God did give this to Moses, who then gave this to the Israelites. So this is in fact God telling people that slavery is fine.
Okay. This is it right here. It says, Book of Leviticus. You gotta excuse me, I got a speech problem. The book of Leviticus, the third book of the Old Testament. Anomaly, I think I'm pronouncing that right. A-N-O-M.
Yeah, an anomaly. What about it?
Anomaly scholars. It was not created by Jews.
According to what?
It says the rest of the Old Testament, that part there is besides Leviticus, it was created by anomaly scholars. And was
Anonymous?
Anomaly. I might be pronouncing that wrong.
Anomalous? CJ, thank you so much. Appreciate that. WCJ.
Anomly. Anomaly.
Yeah, okay, anomaly, yeah.
It was created by anomaly scholars.
I just don't know what that means.
I'm right with you. I don't know what it means either, but it refers back to the ending that it was not created by Jews. What else did it say? 1 second.
Wait, so does the Bible contain lies then?
Well, this is the way I put it. And this is something that I've honestly learned, and this is not even having to come from the Bible. We can honestly say that the Bible was created in God's time. The Bible we have today is nowhere near the same as the Bible that was first ever created.
So the Bible contains lies?
Not necessarily, but more of shorted and abbreviated.
Is it true that God said it's okay to own slaves?
In a way, if you was to look at it, all right, what was it? It wasn't the Jews. It was the, what was the, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I can't even think of what the people would have been referred to as, but it was a certain group he was referring to keep everything balanced and tell them, hey, look, y'all seem to already be doing this, so you do this and you leave us alone, and we'll continue to live my way.
Okay, so God had no problem prohibiting certain actions. So which one is worse, owning slaves or eating shellfish?
You know what? Don't laugh at me. I don't even know what a shellfish is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
but now
like a specific definition.
I don't believe in slavery. I mean, I don't believe in slavery at all. I mean, I got a mixed child.
Right.
My wife is black, so I don't believe in slavery or any of that.
Yeah, that does mean that you're incapable of racism. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Okay, wait. So like an oyster or a cockle or like a crab or a shrimp. So either a mollusk or a crustacean.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. I don't. You might know this. In the Bible, correct me if I'm wrong. In the Bible, it says we shall not eat. What is it? Pork? Is it?
I think so.
I believe it is. It's pork, and there's a couple other things. But do people that are Christians don't eat pork? I mean, you do have some that honestly probably live by the Bible, by the book, by the Ten Commandments, all in one.
So which one's worse, eating shrimp or owning slaves?
I think owning slaves, because I'm gonna eat some shrimp.
Yeah, so why did God say not to eat shrimp, but did say that you can own slaves?
Well, I can't answer that, but if we was to refer to as in the Bible, it says do not eat pig. Are you familiar with that?
That sounds plausible.
In the Bible, it says you shall not eat pig, because what pig is? Pig is pork. Pig was I forgot. I'm not going to try to say, because then I'll be giving false profit, but the pig was considered something as a farm animal, and it was really never meant to be eaten. This pig will take care of your garbage. This pig can take care of your manure or whatever, your dead people, et cetera, et cetera. So it wasn't really meant to be eaten. And in the Bible it says, do not eat the pig. But I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, they looked at a pig as a prophecy or any of that. But I am going to say, as far as what you were referring to, vice versa, we're going to just refer to a pig. Yeah.
Yeah. So why would God ever say that it's okay to own slaves?
Well, just like I said, I can't seem to find it, but I was reading along with you guys, and it's a group of people he was referring to. Basically, and I want to say it was the same people that had God crucified on the cross. They had their own laws. They didn't believe in God.
The Romans?
I believe it was referring to the Romans. I honestly want to say it was referring to the Romans.
The Romans didn't exist.
Give me 1 second. Hold on. I can show you. Hold on. I'll show you. Hold on.
Make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Let's try to get this live in front of as many people as we can. Let's try to get it all the way up to 120k likes. If everyone left 20 likes right now, we'd already be there. Fat Foodie, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Very kind of you. Loud, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Guess you got to be on the app for me to hear you. If you're not on the app, I cannot hear you.
1 second. I was reading it. Hold on. Okay, does the Oh shit.
The
MOSIC.
the Moabites.
No, it's MOSACI. The Moesic law.
Messianic. Or no, not not Messianic. Mosaic.
I believe that's how you say it. But apparently,
Yeah. Wait. So do you know what the MOS in Mosaic refers to?
I do not.
Moses. That's the Mosaic law is the law of Moses.
Okay.
So this is the law that Moses comes and lays down. God says, Moses, tell the Israelites, my people, that they can own slaves. And then he goes and gives them the Mosaic law, which includes that you can own slaves.
Okay, hold on.
Do you got anything else, or should I move on to the next guest?
Well, I mean, really, just like I said in the beginning, I mean, I don't hate you. I mean, everybody's got their own belief, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna choose to believe what I believe, and you gonna choose to believe what you believe. I mean, hey, no hard feelings.
Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate you coming on up here. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Let's try to make sure you're dropping a follow as well if you're enjoying the debates. Don't want to miss one in the future. Try to just double tap that screen, get all the way up to, we're almost at the 120K. You guys are phenomenal. Love all of you. If you want to support the stream, the Venmo's allegedly-Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. If you're in that guest request box, yeehaw! Thank you so much. Perfect. Appreciate that. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. And if you want to join the community, as many already have, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. Nothing would make me happier than you coming and joining. And with that, we'll go to the very next guest. We talk about politics, religion, and philosophy, and I also notify you every time I go live in the Discord, so those are reasons to join. What's up? How's it going, Azzy?
Good, and you?
Doing well. How old are you?
I'm 22.
What year were you born?
2002.
Okay. What religion?
I'm Christian.
Okay. And what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does... Oh, I mean, I'm sorry. Wait. What year did you graduate high school?
Like in 2020... I think it was 2022 or 2021. I'm not too sure.
Okay. So what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Okay.
Also, wait, I'm so sorry, because you do, and I apologize if you do sound quite young, and maybe it's just your voice, but also it's like the hesitancy. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Joshua?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah. How old are you? Is that like a Walter White mask?
I'm 80. I'm 80.
Oh. Ooh.
What's up?
Hey, how's it going? How old are you?
I'm 18.
And what religion?
Christian.
Okay. What year were you born?
2006.
Okay. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
I don't believe in the Big Bang. Think about it. It's no way a bang can just form a intelligent human like us. All these animals, thinking animals. It's no way a Big Bang can make that tree out there, make the air move how it moves. Everything has to have order. It can't even be two perfect beings. Everything Jesus said in the Bible.
Yeehaw. It can't, so much art.
It can't be two perfect beings. If it was two perfect beings, everything wouldn't even go right. Like, you know what I mean? And it would be no love, because God, God it can only be one perfect being. You agree?
No, I don't really believe in like a perfect being, like an existing perfect being. That seems kind of silly. But so just saying I don't believe in the Big Bang isn't an argument for God.
Well, it actually is, because how could everything come about? What would you say? We didn't just magically poof appear here. How could everything come about?
Yeah, so I mean, we came from our parents. If you go back long enough, our parents came via a process of evolution. If you go back to the start of evolution, all the evidence points to abiogenesis. If you go back even farther, then you'll get to the rapid expansion of the universe. And if you go even farther than that, there'll be another universe that went through like a rapid expansion and a rapid contraction. And if you go far into our future, our universe is going to rapidly contract in a big crunch.
So where did all that come from, though?
It's always existed.
Then you just proved that God exists, because God always existed and He created all this. Everything has to have a creator. Everything has to have a beginning, but God has no beginning because God isn't affected by time.
Yeah, that's nice. So the universe is not God. God is specifically an entity who has a mind, who is all good, all powerful, all knowing, and who created everything. But the universe was not created. It doesn't have a beginning. So just because the universe is eternal or like has rather always existed, doesn't mean that the universe is God. That's just silly.
The universe couldn't be God. God is God and Him alone, because the universe doesn't have a mind, but God has a mind. Not saying God is a physical being, but God is an intelligent entity. But the universe is just something that God created, you know? And
what's the evidence for that?
It's a lot of evidence that God, you know, you got the Holy Spirit. I mean, people speaking.
What's the evidence for the Holy Spirit?
I called on you. Say we can't bring up personal experiences. I don't find that fair, because even if I follow the Bible and everything Jesus said, and from my personal experiences, I mean, He's not a liar. Everything He said is wise words. I mean, I can't disagree. I mean,
okay. In the Bible, it says that if your kid is lazy, you should kill them. Were those wise words?
Where does that say in the Bible?
Oh yeah, let's look it up. It's in Deuteronomy.
All right. And I heard you say something about God said it's okay to have slaves. If you want to think about it, we're all slaves. You go to work and work your 9 to 5. Hold up. When you go to work and work your 9 to 5 and your boss hire you, you're his slave. But at the same time, God said, slaves, respect your master. He wants us to respect our slaves, because if we show respect, then that's showing love. If we showing love, then you find favor with God, you find favor with humans. And the slave owners don't disrespect the slaves. And that's just love. So we are really slaves. We slaves to sin.
Yeah, I don't take slavery to be a metaphor. I take it to be like a literal fact about history. I don't think it's like very responsible to be comparing the fact that we go to jobs to literal chattel slavery. In chattel slavery, slaves were systematically raped. Widespread, lots of them.
Hold on. I don't mean to
that doesn't happen.
I'm not kind of educated on all these big words. You got to kind of dumber it down for me. You know.
Which word are you cut up on?
Whatever you just said.
Yeah. So there was an intentional effort made by slave masters to grape both male and female slaves to kill their spirits. Unless your employer is graping you repeatedly with the intention of breaking your spirit, I just don't think that there's an analogy in terms of the harshness here. And also, slavery is just owning another person as a possession. Your employer does not own you as a possession.
No. Because we go to work and we work as slaves. When I'm sweeping the floor, I'm doing what He told me to do. Hey, go sweep that floor. Yes, sir. I'm going there and sweep that floor. But I do it out of respect. So, at the same time, the boss is the slave master, the one that owns the business. Just like I'd be at a house, sitting down, and I got my slaves in there cooking the food. But at the same time, I'm showing them respect. I pay them each, equally. I pay them with respect. You know what I mean? So God told me not to disrespect them, so I'm not going. If I follow the Bible and I own slaves, I should not disrespect the ones that's working for me. You know what I mean? It's like.
That's like really nice or whatnot. But I'm talking about like literal slavery. Slaves are not paid, but you get paid. Slaves can leave, or slaves cannot leave at any time. You could leave at any time if you wanted to quit your job. Slaves can get beaten. It literally says in the Bible that you can beat your slave with a rod. If your
What does that
boss
say in the
started
Bible? I would
beating
like to see
you,
that.
yeah,
What does
okay.
it
Beat slaves with rod verse. Exodus 21, 20 through 21. Anyone who beats their male or female slave with a rod must be punished if the slave dies as a direct result, but they are not to be punished if the slave recovers after a day or two, since the slave is their property. It says that you can beat your slave with a rod.
Well, honestly, I have let me think, because if I know God, I know that it's a reason why and reason. I just can't say that God is an abusive manipulator and beater, because I have to understand that it's a reason. If I know God's true heart, then I know God is loving and kind. So why? Let's go deeper into that. Why did God say you can beat your slave or whatever? You know, what did he really mean by that? Because if I really know God, and I know God is love, and I really know love, you know, love is shown in all types of different ways. Love is, I went.
I totally get it. When you love your slave so much that you take a rod and you physically beat your slave with that rod out of love because you love them so much.
I don't, I ain't gonna lie, you got me stuck. I wouldn't know what to say on that, but I don't want to call God a beater, because at the same time, everything is out of love. You know, we whoop up, people whoop their children. You know what I mean? I wouldn't call us as kids our mama and dad slaves, but we do what they say. And hey, we get disciplined and we get whoopings, you know what I mean? So it's like, what did he truly mean by that? So did God mean if I'm a dad and I'm disciplining my kids, right?
Is your kid your slave?
Actually, my kid's not my slave, but he do what I tell him to do. I'm God's slave.
Do you own your slave as property? You could literally do anything you want to your slave.
No, I literally can't.
Or
you
can't.
Wait, hold on. With my free will, I can. I mean, but I wouldn't choose to. With my free will, yeah. I can do anything I want. With my free will.
Yeah, but is it legal? Is it promoted to do that?
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
Wait, so do you think it's justified to beat the fuck out of your kid with a rod?
No, but with my free will, if I want to beat the fuck out of my kid with a rod, that's what my
and that would be bad. So why is God promoting? So first of all, children aren't slaves. Second of all, beating a slave with a rod is bad. Owning slaves is bad. The only moral thing that you can do to a slave is set them free.
But we all are slaves. We're still slaves.
That's not true.
That is true. We're slaves to sin.
We're not owned. You're talking about slavery as a metaphor. I'm talking about slavery as like a legal institution. We are not slaves.
We all are slaves. I'm telling you, slavery is the word slave is slave in general. Like if I go smoke a blunt, I can't get off that blunt. That blunt got me enslaved.
Yeah, that's a metaphor. This is literal.
I mean, even literal. If I go, my kid, or even though that's my child and I love him, he do what he post. If I tell my child to do something, he supposed to do it. And if he don't do it, I can discipline him. And if he still do something bad, I can whoop him and beat him. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't.
I fucking hope not. Child abuse is bad, actually.
I can not beat him, but I can whoop him, But if I whoop him to the point where
child abuse is bad, actually.
If I whoop him to the point where I kill him, then that's totally wrong. It's ways you can do stuff.
If you put your hands on your child, that's totally wrong.
I mean, you can talk. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. Sometimes God has to touch us in a certain way for us to get right. God told us not to do a whole bunch of things. Then when something bad happened, it's like, oh, now I'm hurt. Now I'm calling on God. But he been told us not to do it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not saying beat your child, but sometimes you got to handle certain people different. You got to handle certain that's just the truth. You got to handle certain people different. You would have never learned some of the things you learned if you didn't go through what you went through, and if you didn't get hit a certain way. You didn't get hit that certain way, you wouldn't even know what you knew.
No, I don't even know if my parents ever beat me. But no, that's like, there's just like lots of data on this. The studies are very clear. Putting your hands on your kid is a great way to make them messed up in the long term. That's literally all putting your hands on your kid does. It doesn't help them improve as a person. It just makes them like stressed and anxious and like fearful. Like if you want your kid to get like lots of mental issues as they grow up, then you should keep on putting your hands on them.
But okay, so say that child he keeps doing it and keeps doing it and keeps doing it and keeps
then spanking or like putting your hands on your kid doesn't help. There's literally no evidence that any of this changes behavior.
Actually, I mean, if you said don't bring up evidence, but I gotta keep it real. A little whoopings done taught me, sometimes God had to tap me a little for me to get right. I gotta keep it real, and that's out of respect. I mean, you told me not to bring up personal experience, but that's my personal experience. I mean, sometimes a lot of people had to get, slapped by another person just so they won't do what they did again. I mean, that's just how life goes. Some people do gotta go through that, man. That's just real.
Yeah, so either your kid is old enough to know or to just have it explained to them why what they did is wrong, and you can just do it like that. Or your kid is not old enough to understand this, in which case they're not going to understand why you're spanking them.
That's the thing. Don't spank them off the back. See, everything it's a.
Well, don't spank them ever. There's just no evidence that it works. There's no evidence whatsoever.
It's a win-win how. So if my child get in trouble at school, right? He come home. I talk to him. I tell him what not to do. He go back. He do it again. All right, I'm gonna talk to you again. I'm gonna tell you what not to do. You go do it again. I keep talking to him. You keep doing it. You keep doing it. All right, hold up.
Yeah. So at no point in this does beating your kid make the problem go away.
Not beating them, but hold up.
Putting your hands on them doesn't help. There's just no evidence.
It's about how you do it. You can always do it.
It doesn't matter how you do it. It doesn't help. This is like the most well-studied thing in all of child developmental psychology. There is literally no evidence that putting your hands on your kid is going to help them change their behavior. A mountain of evidence that putting your hands on your kid is going to fuck them up for the rest of their life.
That is very true. So if that child, but what if that child doesn't listen? If that child doesn't listen after the 50th time, then I mean, I can keep letting him do it, and then he can go get himself hurt in the long run. So I rather, I'm gonna have to tap him a little. Then he might get right. Instead, I keep telling him not to do it, and either he gonna fall, slip up, trip, and then get himself in a situation that he can't get himself out of. Then I'm gonna feel real bad, because then I'm gonna feel like, dang, I should have when I had a chance.
Do you think that the only alternatives that you have are putting your hands on your kid? Yeah. Or letting them self-destruct? You don't think that perhaps there's other forms of discipline?
I'd rather put my hands on my kid than let
Grimlock, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Hail Grimlock. Hail 666. Hail Satan. Big W. I appreciate that. Big W Grimlock. Yeah, you can like put them in timeout, take away privileges that are related to the thing that they keep on doing wrong. There's just like a million things that you can do. Never a reason to put your hands on your kid.
It is a million things you can do, but I'd rather put my hands on my kid.
Yeah, but you would rather abuse your child. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Because you're a sick fuck.
Would you rather put your hands on them or let them self-destruct?
I would find a third thing. These are not the only options. These are not the only options.
The third thing doesn't work.
You're talking about a reality that's not our reality.
No, the third thing doesn't work. We already
wait. So putting your hands on your kid makes them more likely to self-destruct. So I would rather them self-destruct. Because if you put your hands on them, then they're going to be self-destructed and also abused.
No, because they're going to be self-destructed. Then they can't learn no more.
Wait. So you think putting your hands on your kid teaches them something? It doesn't.
I'd rather put my hands on my kid.
It doesn't teach. It doesn't fix anything.
So you rather let them self-destruct than put.
They're going to self-destruct either way. It's just a question of whether you want them to self-destruct but be abused, or
you never know what
like self-destruct. So, but of course, because we live in reality, there's a third option. There's all sorts of disciplines that are effective. You can explain what they're doing is wrong. You can allow them to just experience the consequences of their actions, just a little bit of it, and then actually help them to change their behavior. You can put them in timeout if that's like age appropriate. You can restrict privileges that are related to the way that they're going wrong. There's just a million different things that you can do, all of which are much more effective than putting your hands on your kids.
But we discussed this at first. I first told you she came home and I told her what not to do, and I told her about 10 times, but she didn't listen. So then my question was, are you gonna whoop her now or let her self-destruct?
There's a third option.
What's the third option? I done told her.
Depends. Depends how old your kid is.
I told her, put her in timeout. I mean, what's the third option?
So how old is your kid in this scenario?
My kid's 12. Good young age, 12. Let's say 12. Yeah.
Effective parenting for kids effective disciplining for kids at the age of 12. A positive approach to discipline involves agreeing on and setting limits for behaviors. You can praise them for good behavior. You can help redirect them when they're doing a harmful behavior to a less harmful behavior. You can teach them what the consequences of their actions are. There's and again, but it's not. So you are presupposing that putting your hands on your kid is actually going to fix anything.
So when they came home, what did I say I did? Talk to them about it. So what is that doing? What did you redirect them to? If I'm talking to them, then I'm telling them, you can't slap that person, because if you slap that person, then they can start a whole fight. And then when that starts a fight, other people can get hit. And if I'm telling them that, and then they still go back and do it, then it's like, okay, hold up.
Gotcha. So you were trying to avoid the outcome of kids getting hit by hitting your kid.
No. I was trying to avoid. See, demons work in many ways. If I slap you right now, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get mad and you're gonna slap me back. And if you don't slap me back, you're gonna get mad and go make somebody else mad. And that person gonna make somebody else mad. Then everybody gonna get mad. And it all started because of me. So
gotcha.
If I want to avoid that whole situation, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. And if you choose to follow the truth, then that's you. But if you choose to not follow the truth, then you gonna self-destruct yourself before I can discipline you by spanking you.
All right. Did you practice redirection as a method of parenting?
No, I'm like spanking. I never said spanking was right, because spanking.
Wait. Did you practice redirection before you put your hands on your kids?
Yeah.
So what did you redirect them to do? What was the behavior that you redirected them to do in these situations?
So, bro, like,
you didn't try. You just jumped to putting your hands on your kids.
No, I actually don't even have kids. Are you asking me, do I have kids? I don't have.
You just fucking talk. Oh my god. You don't actually have kids?
No, bro. But I was just saying, like, if I had kids, that's what I would do. I mean, I wouldn't go.
Don't have kids.
If I did, I wouldn't just go off the back and spank them, bro. I mean, it's always, like you said, it's always a way. You can always talk, but if they don't,
bro, maybe God is real and God is good because that motherfucker doesn't have kids. Oof, almost converted me just now. I have thank God on the tip of my tongue that this motherfucker doesn't have kids, because that's fucking crazy. But if you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, that you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. I think those are the ones. Also, Grimlock, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Hail Grimlock, hail 666, hail Satan, big W Grimlock in that comment section. I appreciate it. So make sure you're dropping a follow as well if you're enjoying the debates. Never want to miss one in the future. And with that, we can go to the very next guest. But keep on double tapping on that screen. Let's get all the way up to 150K.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? How's it going, John?
Good, and yourself?
Doing well. How old are you?
I'm 18. Just turned 18.
Yep. And what religion?
Christian.
Okay. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Well, I kind of wanted to just flat out ask you why you don't believe in God.
Oh, I don't believe in God. I'll just run the problem of evil. Why not? It's fun. Because so if God exists, then he is all good, all powerful, and all knowing. If he's all powerful, then he has the power to prevent evil. If he's all knowing, then he knows how to prevent evil. And if he's all good, then he has a desire to prevent evil. But evil exists. So there's a contradiction between God being all good, all knowing, and all powerful.
Correct. So that's like your main argument as to why you don't believe in God?
Yep.
Have you like really read the Bible, read the scripture to see like why there is evil and why there is good?
Oh, you just need to prove that the Bible is true.
To prove that the Bible is true?
Yeah, go ahead and prove that the Bible is true.
Why wouldn't it be true?
Says that outer space is water, says that the earth is older than the sun, says that the earth is flat. Says that you can own slaves, says that it's okay to kill children, says that it's okay to beat children, endorses multiple genocides. Lots of reasons why it wouldn't be true.
So the ones where it says that you can kill kids, so you can own slaves and all that, was that in the Old Testament or the New Testament?
It's the same God. So if God's all good, then these actions would also be all good.
No, I understand that, but either way, was it in the Old Testament or the New Testament? Like,
yeah, it's in the Old Testament, but that just doesn't change anything.
Well, I mean, if you read the scripture,
it's in the Hebrew Bible. But
okay.
If it really just doesn't change the argument.
Okay. Well, the Old Testament is like saying how God is a more stricter God, saying like, like he's just more strict. He's a more straightforward God. If you don't do this, if you're not perfect, you're not going to get into heaven, that kind of stuff, But
did God change?
Testament, only God knows. In the New Testament, after Jesus' coming to earth and resurrection and all of that, is when he started like being a more loving God and like, oh, like if you believe in Jesus, if you follow Jesus, that's your path to heaven, because Jesus came to earth, God crucified and paid for your sins, right?
Okay, but did God change?
Nobody knows, only God knows.
You're saying that at one point in time he was like this, and then at a different point in time he was like this. So it seems like God changed, which contradicts verses in the Bible which say that God can't change.
Well, I'm just going off of the New Testament, the Old Testament, how it compares to like.
Is God the same as he was in the Old Testament?
I would assume so, yeah.
Okay, then why did God say that slavery is chill?
I don't know.
Okay, why did God command the unaliving of children?
What does that say in the Bible?
It says in 1 Samuel 15:3, go now, strike down the Amalekites, do not spare them, kill men and women, babies and infants, or children and infants, camel and sheep. I think something in donkeys.
The donkeys. Can you read the verse to me? Because I can't leave the app. It'll like disconnect me. So
yeah, I can just read. I mean, I was like quoting the verse just now. I can read the verse to you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
1 Samuel 15:3. Now go attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put to death men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys.
Okay, and what's the context?
Which context is it okay to kill infants?
I asked you a question. What's the context?
Yeah, the context is that 300 years earlier, the Amalekites attacked the Israelites.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I'm not going to speak on something that I don't know, because I didn't even know that was a verse in the Bible. I'm not going to speak on it. I don't want to say something wrong. But just like going off of what I know is, God is all loving according to the New Testament. The Old Testament is that he was a more stricter God. If you don't do this and this, you're not going to get here, But I want to ask you, like you never believe that Jesus came and roamed the earth? Like you don't believe in his existence at all?
Oh, so I just want to be clear. So you can't contend with like any of the verses I'm throwing at you. So you want to pivot to something else. That's fine. I think Jesus was a real person who actually existed. I just don't think he was the son of God.
So you just don't believe that he was the son of God?
Nope.
What do you believe?
I think that he was just like a dude, and he had a following, and then he was killed.
So you don't believe that he was resurrected?
No, literally no evidence for the resurrection.
Well, I mean, the evidence is in the Bible. Obviously, back then,
gotcha. So then I just have like an easy question for you.
Yes.
What's the evidence that the Bible is true?
Eyewitnesses. There was 500 eyewitnesses.
Yeah, and where can I read about these 500 eyewitnesses?
In the Bible.
Gotcha. So the Bible is true because the Bible is true. Can you tell me what the problem is with my extension cord? Why is it not working?
Because it's not plugged into an outlet.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's plugged into itself. Similarly, you can't say that the Bible is true because the Bible is true. You need to cite something other than the Bible to prove the truth of the Bible.
Well, I mean, there was 500 eyewitnesses. That's almost like saying like you meet somebody, right? And they say like, oh, like my grandparent was a soldier, or like you know what I'm trying to say? Like just an example. And like you believe them, but like there was no records. Like you don't, like it was just a witness. Like you know what I'm trying to say? And you believe that person. Like you know what I'm trying to say? Like that kind of. Okay.
So you're saying that the resurrection in the Bible is true because of the 500 eyewitnesses, which of course are in the Bible. Yeehaw! Thank you so much, Ulan. Of course, these people, that actually happened. There were 500 eyewitnesses. We know that, of course, because the Bible is true, the original claim. So you're saying that the Bible is true because the Bible is true.
I believe that the Bible is true.
Yeah, and I don't. So can you cite me a source that's not the Bible?
I can't do that.
Okay, so the only way that anyone could accept your argument is if they already believed in the Bible. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, the belief is the whole point of Jesus Christ and God. The whole point is belief and faith. Like, there's no evidence to prove the Bible. Nobody truly knows if the Bible is true. And I'll admit that, like, nobody truly knows. But what the Bible states is that belief and faith is, like, the main thing in, you know, in that whole thing is just belief and faith.
Why would I want to believe in something that has no evidence?
That's your personal preference then.
Okay, I'm going to prefer to believe in things that have evidence.
Okay, I mean, if that's how you want to live, then I guess, but I mean, so, okay, let me ask you something. So you think that, why do you think we're on Earth? Like, why do you think humans roam the Earth?
Are you asking like existentially, like what's our purpose? Or are you asking like by what process did we get here?
No, like the purpose.
Oh, I think that we make our own purpose. I think that purpose is entirely subjective, but that you're more than welcome to subjectively create your own purpose.
Mm-hmm. So you think that we are just put on this planet, we create our purpose, and then we just die?
Yeah, we happen to exist and we hope to explain it. Whereas you get your purpose, not one that you create yourself, but rather you take your purpose from like a Bronze Age fairy tale. I'm just not sure why your purpose would be meaningful at all when it wasn't even created by you. You're just doing something that somebody 2,000 years ago said to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, everybody has different beliefs, and if you don't want to believe that, then, you know, that's cool, I guess. But I mean, like, my other question too, like you said, is how did we get here?
So do you want like the explanation, like the how we got here explanation? So
yeah, like I want to know what you believe.
Yeah, we came from evolution.
So you think we were monkeys and apes, and then we just
half no. We were never monkeys, but we are currently apes. We were previously apes. Our descendants will also be apes. Humans are classified as great apes.
Okay, and you believe that because of science, correct?
Yeah, it's our classification, yeah. And the DNA, yeah. I mean, science, yeah, but it's like broader than that. It's like the DNA evidence.
Mm-hmm. And how did scientists come up with that, with the DNA? Like, how did they even...
Yeah. So just like the unbelievable mountain of evidence in the fossil record, the unbelievable amount of evidence in like the DNA specifically, that either we shared a common ancestor or God intentionally put all of this useless DNA, like the same pieces of useless DNA in all of the great apes. We definitely share a common ancestor with the other great apes. Otherwise, there's just no explaining like a million different facts about our DNA.
Okay, and then how did the apes come before us? Like, how did that all happen? Like, how did it come to Earth?
Evolution. Oh wait. How did evolution start? Evolution.
Yeah.
All the evidence
Because you said
suggests that
like, we
evolution
came from
starts
apes and all that,
via
like-
a process of abiogenesis. That there was the ideal conditions for the formation of the first protocell via the coming together of various organic compounds.
And that was proven where?
Oh, I'm just saying that that's where all the evidence points to.
Okay, but nobody really like knows for sure. That's just what it's pointing to.
Yeah, this is like the view that's supported by evidence, as opposed to your hypothesis, which is that like God said abracadabra.
Okay, and then how was the world made? Like, how did the planets and the stars and the suns and all that, the universes, how did all that come to be?
I'm pretty sure like the scientific consensus is just that gravity pulled them all together into the formation of our solar system around 4.5 billion years ago.
Okay, but how did that all come? Like, do you believe in the Big Bang Theory or what?
Yeah, I believe in the Big Bang, yeah.
Okay, so how can something come from nothing?
So the Big Bang just states that the manifold we exist on rapidly expanded. That's not saying that there was nothing before, but rather that I think the universe has always existed and that it rapidly expanded and that eventually it's going to rapidly contract. And then after that, it's going to rapidly expand again in another, what you might call Big Bang.
So you think like it's always existed, like it's always been like there wasn't a start or...
No,
like,
yeah, exactly. I don't think there was a start.
Like, but I mean, that doesn't really make sense though.
Oh, do you think that God had a start?
He is the beginning and the end.
Gotcha. Wait, so you have no problem understanding that God has no beginning, but when it comes to the universe, you just think that that's like crazy.
because that just doesn't really make sense how you believe in the universe not having a start, because there's no evidence that proves to that.
Yes,
but
there
yet
is.
you won't believe in a God.
Yeah, there's the quantum eternity theorem, which indicates that insofar as there's a non-zero amount of energy in the universe, that the universe has always existed.
Okay, and can you find a source for that, please?
Yeah, it's the quantum eternity theorem. The source is Sean Carroll.
And what evidence points to that?
The Schrodinger's equations. It's just a derivation from the Schrodinger's equations.
All right, well, I don't know much of that, but I'm just going based off of what I know.
Okay.
And what I believe in.
So, I mean, that's the evidence. Just the entire field of quantum mechanics is the evidence that the universe has always existed.
Okay. So you'll believe in other people's work, but you won't believe in eyewitnesses?
Oh, well, we don't have eyewitnesses. You haven't proven that the existence of eyewitnesses.
Okay.
I would believe eyewitnesses if only there were any.
And you just don't believe that because nothing like proves it?
Yeah, there's no evidence.
So you base your life and beliefs off of evidence?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. Huge W, Owen, in the comment section. I'll check out that website. Appreciate it.
I was on your live like a couple days ago or a week ago, something like that, and I remember this guy telling you about the Shroud of Turin. And like, do you just completely like not believe in what the new study found, or?
Oh, it seems to be using an inaccurate dating method.
Okay, so you don't believe in the image that popped up in the dating?
So the image that pops up, that's real, but it's just that it's a forgery from like 1300 years, or from 1300 AD. It's a forgery from like 700 years ago.
That was the old experiment. The new experiment pointed back to 2,000 years ago.
The new experiment uses a flawed methodology. It uses a method that's much less reliable. Whereas, so like the modeling required for the new method is like catastrophic, whereas the math required for this method is in fact quite simple. The one that dates it at like 1300 AD, the only reason why somebody would want to use that method is because they wanted to prove it to be from the age when they want it to be from.
Okay, but the man who was experimenting with it was an atheist. He didn't believe in it, and so the results came up.
I'm skeptical of that. Do you have a source saying that the person was like an atheist and then they just changed their mind?
Yeah, I say that. So he was an atheist, he didn't believe in it. The result came. Man, the Bible didn't fully came through it.
You're cutting out pretty badly, but that's just not true. Where you're cutting out super badly, but unfortunately, that's just like super untrue, right? If the article said I was an atheist before this experiment, now I believe in God, then I super wouldn't trust it, because that's like the least scientific thing I've ever read in my entire life. Little Sandy, appreciate it.
You can say like he fully committed to believing in God, or like
yeah. Wait. So what's this? What's this
in the
guy's
source?
name?
It didn't say that he fully committed to the Bible or God, but he started talking. I'm forgetting
What's
his
this
name. I don't
dude's
have it
name?
off the top of my head.
Okay.
I would have to read
Gotcha.
back into it.
Okay. So I just have no evidence that any of that is true. And I also gave you a reason to not trust that study anyway. So
just read it.
I've already read the study.
Because it's not a reliable. Okay.
The methodology that they use for that study is just not very reliable.
Mm-hmm.
So did you got anything else for me, or should I move to the next guest?
The person who was on here before, you were saying the thing like how you can be your slaves and all that, and like how he was saying that there could also be a different meaning, you know. And an example that it's not a personal experience, but in the Bible, it says like, oh, like if your right hand causes you to sin, to cut it off. It doesn't literally mean to cut it off. Like it has a separate meaning behind it.
So what's the metaphor?
Like to cut to cut addictions, to cut like things that
but
cause
what's the
sin.
metaphor? What is beating your slaves metaphorical for?
I don't know. I didn't even know that was a verse in the Bible until I started watching your live.
Okay.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, based off of another verse, that there could be a separate meaning for it, because in the verse that I'm bringing up to you doesn't literally mean to cut off your right hand. You know what I mean? So in that verse, it could have a separate. I'm not saying it does have a separate meaning. I'm just saying it could have a separate meaning, because I didn't even know that was a verse before.
Well, if it's not a metaphor, then it's literal. And if it's literal, then we have a big problem.
Okay. But I mean, in the verse that I'm saying too, it literally says to cut off your right hand, but it doesn't actually mean to cut off your right hand. You know?
How do you know if a verse is metaphorical or literal?
Because, I mean, you can interpret it in different ways, but
how do you know that God is real as opposed to a metaphor?
How do I know God is real? Because of a metaphor? Like, what do you mean?
So because you want to say that, like, well, all the verses you don't like, well, that's just a metaphor. But what I'm super curious about is, how do you know that all the verses about God aren't just a metaphor? How do you know all the verses about heaven aren't just a metaphor?
I don't. I literally said, like, it could have a literal meaning, but it could also have a separate meaning.
I just have no idea what the separate meaning would be. But do you have anything else for me, or should I move on to the next guest?
Nah, you can move on.
All right, appreciate coming on up here. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Drop a follow as well if you're enjoying the debates. You never want to miss one in the future. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. Keep on double tapping on that screen. Let's try to get this all the way up to 200k likes. Make sure you're dropping a follow as well. If you want to support the stream, the Venmo's allegedly -Ian, and the Cash App is just allegedly Ian. And if you want to join the community, if you're 18 or older, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. I would love to see you there. We talk about politics, religion, philosophy. We're currently going to read a paper this upcoming Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, about presuppositional apologetics and how to answer them. So if you're interested in learning more about philosophy, you want to join a little book club, link to the Discord's in my bio. Make sure you select the reading club role and that you read the paper for next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. What's up? How's it going? It's me.
Yes. How do you not?
You are like fucking 6 years old. Okay. You gotta be 18 or older. Hey, how's it going? Oh, well, that's not... You do. The hidden rule that almost never comes up. Also, if you're obviously underage and I kick you for being underage, and then you come back in my guest request box, you're getting blocked. So see you later. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Prince?
Hello. So you just want to talk about theology, or like, is there a specific topic you want to go into?
Yeah, just that God's not real. It's up to you. What's your strongest argument? Or first of all, what religion are you?
Hey, okay, yeah, so I'm pretty Protestant.
Okay, and what religion, and what's your strongest argument for the existence of God?
Hey, let's talk about the Shroud of Turin. I heard you talking about that with the guy earlier. I'm interested to see what you think about some things. So, so you say it's a forgery from like the 13th century.
Yep.
Do you know that the test? Well, first of all, let's do this. So only the topmost fibrils of the cloth are burned with the radiation, and it makes a photo negative of a man who's been crucified. Now, that's the only example in the world of some kind of cloth that has a photo negative on it. And that's because it's not photosensitive material. It doesn't just capture light like that. So it seems like some kind of strong radiation burned the image into the cloth. Do you have some other explanation for that if someone from the 14th century, 13th century forged it? How do you think they did that?
Yeah, I mean, let's just like look into it. So wait, but I just want to be clear. Your claim is that literally no other piece of cloth has a photo negative in it?
That's true.
With a photo negative being what specifically?
You know, like when you take a picture and then you have the, I actually don't know, like, I guess technically how to explain that as a photographer or something. But you see what I'm trying to say? It's like a picture that's taken. Okay, well, go ahead and do whatever you think a good explanation is for a photo negative and try to find an example of that in cloth. I'd actually like to know. Maybe there is an example, but I'm pretty sure there's not. But you go ahead.
So, okay, wait. So for this one, so a photo negative is quite literally just when you like invert the colors in the photograph. So I'm not sure what you mean when you say that cloth is not capable of having like photo negatives, that this is like all the pictures that you've seen have been like pretty heavily enhanced by various technology.
How do you know that?
Because you can look at the original one and then you can see that all of the images where like the face is like super clear, that all of these images are just like heavily enhanced. They're like shaded differently. Like, have you ever seen like the TikTok videos where someone goes and makes like the flag of Poland, where they just like go into an image and then they just like are messing with the hue and all that other stuff. The Shroud of Turin, all these pictures are just going to be like enhancing it.
Well, I know that that's possible, but the onus is on you to show how the most studied piece of like artifact in world history, this whole time, we've all just been running off of doctored images. Yeah, that's quite a claim. You have anything to like support that claim other than plausibility?
It's not doctored images. It's that if you looked at the Shroud of Turin, it would not look like these images. These images are specifically lit up such that the like photo negative effect of it is more readily visible.
Okay, so you're saying there is a photo negative there?
Photo negatives aren't hard to make. You can make them pretty easily.
On non-photosensitive material?
Yeah.
Oh yeah? When is that?
It's just going to be based on the coloration of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have like an example?
Sure. Let's find one. Brownish image. Okay. So what's literally on it is just a faint brownish image of a front and back view of a naked man with hands folded across his groin.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyone can make an image on cloth.
From the 14th century, how did he, cause radiation to burn a photonegative image into just the topmost fibrils of that cloth? Like that's quite a claim, man. I mean, I don't know that.
Was carried by some radiation at the moment of resurrection. However, STIRP member Alan Andler has stated that this theory is not generally accepted as scientific, given that it runs counter to the laws of physics, while agreeing that the darkening of the fabric could be produced by exposure to light, and predicting that despite the fact that the Shroud of Turin is normally stored in darkness and rarely displayed, it will eventually become darker in the future. Raymond Rogers also criticized the theory, saying it is clear that a corona discharge, plasma in the air, will cause easily observable observable changes in the linen sample. No such effects can be observed in image fibers from the Shroud of Turin. Corona discharges and/or plasma has made no contribution to image formation. Even if the ultraviolet radiation were proven to have formed the image, it cannot be proven that it wasn't natural, that if the sun applied to the prepared cloth unevenly to create the image.
Is he saying that the corona is not able to make that image? Was he saying that?
That one, doesn't seem like this is how it got here, and two, even if this is how it got here, that there's still a natural explanation for it.
And
but of course, none of this matters because it's dated to 1300 BC or 1300 AD.
You see what I'm saying? Okay, now let's start with that. Let's go with the dating. So that test, I wish I could drop names for you. I'm actually not on my computer right now, but that test was done in the top left corner of the shroud, which was burned in the, there's a fire of, I think you pronounce it Chambray in France. And there was extra cloth sewn onto it because they were trying to repair the damage that was made, right? It has a long provenance, this cloth, provenance. I mean, it starts, it emerges in the historical record in Turin, Italy, Middle Ages, but, the claim is that it's older. But afterwards, it did go through a lot of things. But anyway, that's where all of the samples that generated the, 13th, 14th century carbon-14 dating all came from the top left corner. And that's not exactly good science, Maybe we should try to take samples from the rest of the cloth, or maybe even the parts of the cloth that actually contain the image on it, So as far as the dating, I think there's a lot of reason to doubt the 13th century, not to mention the fact that no one in the 13th century is able to replicate a cloth just like that.
Wait, why not? All this is just making like a dark image on cloth. Wait, why can't you just put like dark spots on cloth? What stops that?
Well, because we can see that the radiation only penetrated to the topmost fiber.
Prove it. Wait. Prove that this was caused by radiation. Go ahead.
Prove it? I guess you need to cite somebody, I guess?
Yeah, please.
I don't have it in front of me, but...
Yeah, because there's no evidence that this came from radiation.
Let me go to my... well, yeah, it is. The guy you just read just said it is a photonegative.
Oh, would you want me to read it again? Because it actually says the opposite of that, but maybe you just weren't listening. So do you want me to just read it again?
Read it again. I mean,
however, STIRP member Alan Andler has stated that this theory is not generally accepted as scientific, given it runs counter to the laws of physics, while agreeing that darkening of the fabric could be produced by exposure to light, and predicting that despite the fact that the shroud is normally stored in darkness and rarely displayed, it will eventually become darker in the future. Raymond Rogers also criticized the theory, saying it is clear that a corona discharge plasma in the air will cause easily observable changes in a linen sample. No such effects can be observed in image fibers from the Shroud of Turin. Corona discharges and/or plasma has made no contribution to the image formation. Even if the ultraviolet radiation were proven to have formed the image, it cannot be proven that it wasn't natural, that of the sun applied to the prepared cloth unevenly to create the image.
Well, I'm not sure what a corona discharge is.
It's just referring to plasma, I think.
Okay, so I guess I just need background to that, because why would we assume that some kind of plasma burned in? Like he's just defeating some kind of hypothesis that some, quote unquote corona discharge caused the image. He's not saying that the image isn't actually, a photonegative. He didn't say that anywhere.
Well, so I just don't think that you understand what a photonegative is. So a photonegative is an image, usually on a strip or sheet of transparent plastic film, in which the lightest areas of the photograph subject appear darkest and the darkest appear lightest. So it's literally like a photonegative. You need an original. You need an original image to have a photonegative image.
Yes.
But then a photonegative image is literally just like every time where there's like lightness, or every time where there's like a light color, you just switch it to like a dark color. And every time there's a dark color, you just switch it to a light color. That's all a photonegative is.
Yeah, but still, number one, you have no way of explaining how that happened. Number two,
yes, I do. You literally can just fucking paint it on there. There's a million different ways when you can do that.
Paint and radiation are two different things, man.
You haven't proven that this is done via radiation.
You did just by reading that. The guy.
I'll read it a third time because you like getting dunked so hard by this passage.
He just doesn't say that it's the corona discharge, but he's not saying it's not radiation though.
So Raymond Rogers also criticized the theory. It is clear that the corona discharge, in parentheses, plasma in the air, will cause easily observable changes in a linen sample. No such effects can be observed in image fibers from the Shroud of Turin. Corona discharges and or plasmas made no contribution to the image formation.
Okay, maybe those didn't do anything, but where does he say that it doesn't have any evidence of radiation to the topmost fibril? Where does he?
This is literally talking about the radiation process.
Are there not other methods of getting radiation on something?
Oh, then you're just defeating your own point then.
What do you?
If there are other methods of getting radiation on something, then we have literally no reason to think that this is supernatural.
I think what you're not really developing is you're saying that the corona discharge is, I guess, the name for what Jesus would have created when he rose from the dead, and that's like the theory. Is that what you're trying to say? And so because it's not corona discharge, therefore Jesus didn't create this? Is that what you're saying?
Wait, so I don't know if you know this, but light is radiation.
Yes.
So when it says there was no such effects can be observed in the image from the Shroud of Turin, corona discharges and or plasmas made no contribution to image formation. What it's saying is that it didn't form from radiation.
Okay, well, that's what I'm doubting, is because plasmas are, I don't know. The sun is made of plasma. So I don't know, what is he saying? Like literally an electrocharged gas, like people are claiming that electrocharged gas showed up and burned an image into the cloth, Like, see, we're claiming it's a supernatural image onto the cloth, Sure, it's not, this plasma, but that's what I'm saying. That's kind of a straw man. I don't think we're saying that it's this plasma image,
Yeah, wait, but you're saying that it's radiation. That's not true.
Saying it was caused by some kind of radiation. And who wrote all of this? This is from, who is it? I do have Ray Rogers' test. I do have Max Fry's test, who also determined that the pollen grains on the shroud are all pollen from northern Judea, from the 1st century.
I'd love to see the study on literally any of this, published in an accredited peer-reviewed journal.
This is Father Robert Spitzer's evidence.
Oh yeah, Father Robert Spitzer. I'm sure he came into it completely neutral.
So are you claiming that every scientist is neutral or something?
Well, I'm saying that it's like a huge conflict of interest to study the artifact that's been a confirmed forgery via radiocarbon dating, and then proceeding to be like, well, I guess it actually is real. I did the study myself. It is real.
Well, go ahead and explain
I think,
how
especially wait, is it published in a peer-reviewed journal?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'd love to see what the peer-reviewed journal is.
Okay. So you only believe things that are in peer-reviewed journals?
When I'm talking about scientific claims, I try to, yeah. I try to look for the best evidence rather than the evidence that agrees with me.
So you just believe everything other scientists say, no question?
No, it depends whether how it fits into the broader piece of evidence. That's the good thing about the scientific method, is that even though individual studies, one off, two off, can get it wrong, that when you take the aggregate of the data, that you will get it right, or that you're much more likely to get it right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this, and even if you take issue with literally any of that, this process is still a million times more reliable than someone who quite literally already believes in the claim. Ethene, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Venmo. Hail, Ethene. Hail, 666. Hail, Satan. Big W, Ethene.
Wow. Okay, but you see how appealing only to peer-reviewed stuff and not actually getting into the arguments for things is a fallacy. It's the appeal to authority.
No, not at all. It's what it actually is just the demonstration of science. So the first argument is going to be that science leads to reliably true conclusions. The second premise is going to be that the totality of studies related to the Shroud of Turin, which indicate that it's not real, are the scientific consensus. Therefore, the conclusion is going to be that it is a reliably true conclusion to assume that the Shroud of Turin is a forgery. That's the argument.
All right, so let me just review a little bit. So you're claiming that it's a forgery because it dates to the 13th century because of carbon-14 dating that was only done on the top left corner, the corner that was burned in the fire of Chambray, and then other cloths were sewed in at that time, which do date to around the 14th century, right? And so though they're, it's unreliable dating, you're saying that is the best dating, and it trumps the current dating, which shows that it actually dates to the 1st century. Okay. Then you're also saying that though that's the image of a man that is radiated into the cloth that only burns to the topmost fibril, right? It has blood on it. It has a crown of thorns that, matches the biblical description that's on his head. It had tons of lacerations all over his face. I mean, it has, the crucifixion wounds on the wrists. It has them on the feet. Well, one of the wrists is being held by the other hand, Man, you're claiming that this is all just a forgery. You see, I think
correct.
that
Yeah,
makes
wait.
a
So can
lot
I get the peer-reviewed study? Would you mind?
Well, I mean, I'm giving you the data that everybody.
Wait. Can you? I don't want your data from Father whoever. Can I get the peer-reviewed study?
Okay, so again, you're doing the fallacy from authority. So
It's
that's
not a fallacy for authority. Wait, I don't know, gang. Is it fallacious to cite reliable sources, reliable expert sources?
Well, without actually reading what they say. Here, let's do that. How about you look at a peer-reviewed study and look what they actually say, and then use that to defeat what I'm saying.
Look at what?
To see the onus would now be on you.
Wait, so they
and then to defeat what I'm saying based on the content in there. Don't just say, "Oh, you don't have this in a peer-reviewed study, therefore it's not compelling." Like, actually break it down.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
They're saying.
Yeah, so according to Live Science, what is dated, you falsely claimed that what was dated is the top left-hand corner or wherever. What was actually dated is the bloodstains.
Okay, so they date. No. By the way, there's many other dating methods that's been used on this. I'm talking about the.
Yeah, wait. Which one do you think is more reliable than carbon-14 dating?
I'm talking about. Yeah, hold up. I'm just talking about the carbon-14 one. That's the one from the top left corner. To be clear, I'm not saying everything was taken from the top left corner there. That's just the one you're referring to.
Yeah, wait. So then the dating of the bloodstains dates it to the same time.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yep.
Really? Let me see this.
Yeah, so the source for this is just Shroud of Turin is a fake bloodstain suggest by Charles Q. Choi.
Okay. Huh. And is that peer-reviewed?
I can find the from the Journal of Forensics. Let me make absolutely certain that it is. This is from Journal of
So you said
Journal for Forensic Sciences.
Bloodstain Science. Yeah, okay. Wow, he has the right image. Wow. Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't say anything that doesn't explain.
Yep, it's peer reviewed. Yeah.
Okay. Do they explain how the radiation got there?
What's the evidence that there's radiation on there at all?
I mean, that's pretty ubiquitous. Everybody says radiation's on there.
Can I just get the source? And you might be right about that, but can I just get the source?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to take the Father Robert Spitzer, then who else can I think? Oh, no, he did the other test. Yeah, I guess I don't have the name of a person who's done any peer review thing on calling it radiation, but I mean, I guess I'm making the positive claim that it is radiation. I made a source. You just don't like my source.
Yeah. So is your source in a peer-reviewed journal? Otherwise, I'm going to default to the more reliable study.
But that's the authority fallacy. So go ahead.
No, it's not. Appealing to my brother in Christ. You are literally also setting a study. It now becomes a competition as to which of our studies are more reliable. The peer review process is really great because it keeps out ideologues who just want to push agendas, because you actually have to get into the weeds and do science.
You sure about that?
More often than not. When you take the totality of the data, that is the case. But of course, there's one off, two off, where people put out false studies. But of course, when you take the totality of data, the truth is revealed, which is why we need to look at the totality of peer-reviewed data.
Could this not be one of those examples?
So I have two studies that dated at this exact same point.
But did they deal with the radiation?
You haven't proven radiation.
No, but I did bring up a name, and you're saying no. The peer-reviewed journal data is.
I just want the unbiased source that says that this is caused by radiation, because I literally have another source that says that it wasn't caused by radiation.
Oh, let me see that. What was that?
Yeah, it's like the source that I read to you like 4 or 5 times.
The one that just talked about a specific type of radiation? And is that peer reviewed? I don't think that's peer reviewed.
Yeah, wait, let's get it. Let's check.
Yeah. This brings up an interesting point, though, because for a lot of us, we're just relying on the work other people have done, So like determining whether or not this thing is actually real, we just have to trust people. And that's true on your side, and that's true on my side, because we don't have the shroud in front of us, and we also don't have the expertise in studying it, nor the tools right in front of us. So that's just an interesting comment on epistemology,
Yeah, so it's just a question of who's more trustworthy, these scientists whose entire career hangs in the balance of them not lying, or the religious people whose entire career hangs in the balance of giving the results that they need.
So, all right, so you basically have a whole lot of people watching this, and you have a lot of likes. And I'm going to guess that a lot of them would go away if you suddenly believe me, right? Does that mean maybe?
Oh, we're getting conspiratorial. No, if I believed in God, then I would run the exact same lives. It's just that it would be God Israel. I built up my platform once. I can build up my platform again. I'm just not worried about that.
Dude, I believe you're totally capable. Good point. However, I just think that a lot of these scientists, and this has actually been proven from a lot of them who came out and admitted about it, especially geologists, that's really what I'm aware of, is that they say, yeah, once I started believing that there's evidence of a global flood, I got random notes, written and taped to my door at the conference hall, just saying hey, you're going down a weird path. You shouldn't be doing this. That's not cool,
Okay, so
they actually say people like geologist Stephen Grocott or Ron Neller will argue, scientists are more biased than the regular guy down the street because the system forces a bias. You see, the system requires you to get agreement from all of your peers. So if it kind of discourages adventure and finding new things. Because
Certainly
if you
not.
do that, people might shoot it down. Oh, now you don't get government funding anymore.
Certainly not. That's not true at all. If you have if the research is real, then certainly you can do the research. Now, of course, if you're a hack scientist who believes in the biblical flood despite literally no evidence. Wait, also, do you think peer review is when your peers agree with you? Do you think that's what the peer review process is?
Well, if you don't pass peer review, you don't get to the journal.
But can you describe to me what you think the peer review process is? Or do you have no idea?
They have to review whatever work you did and determine that it was in good science or in good history. And then it gets to be published in the journal. If not, then it won't get published.
Wait, you think, wait, I just want to be clear. You think that's what peer review is?
That's correct. Wait.
Are you aware of the fact? Are you aware of the fact that part of the peer review process is getting your study torn to shreds by other people in the field who give critiques of your entire methodology?
That is what review means. Yes.
So then, what's the problem?
No, I'm saying I know they do that. Yeah, but I'm saying that there is a bias, and I cited some scientists. What do you think about that?
Oh, if I looked up any of these scientists, are any of these people taken seriously by their fields anymore?
Anymore? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, because if I Google these scientists, are they all disgraced researchers? Let's actually test that hypothesis right now. Give the name of the scientists again. Let's investigate what these people are up to.
Google Dr. Ron Neller.
Ron Neller?
Yeah, Ronneller. Yeah, it's really phonetic. Dude was a fluvial geomorphologist coming out of Australia. I'm not sure what city. And then he was an atheist for about 30 years in his study.
The United States Marine Corps 4-star general, or which one?
No, look up fluvial geomorphologist Ron Neller. That might be.
It's Neller. Did I mishear that?
Yeah, Neller.
Yeah, I'm getting literally nothing about this dude. Oh, so we have Dr. Ron Neller from Evolutionist to Creationist.
Yes, that's it.
What convinced Dr. Ron Neller that the biblical flood was a historic event? Wait, so what's if we go to Google Scholar and look up Ron Neller, what are we gonna find?
I don't know. He published many papers, and he wrote books too. That was back when he was, not a creationist. Now, remember, if we toss...
Yeah, it seems like there's just no, when I'm looking for this guy, there's just, no information. It's weird.
Okay, now notice, if you just toss this guy out because he's not in, like this Google Scholar and stuff, you might just be confirming what I said about that bias thing.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Wait, so I would just need to see where the... I would love to read through the evidence, the methodology of his paper, but if his paper is rigorous and scientific, then why didn't he try to get it reviewed by critics? Can you name which critics reviewed his paper?
No.
Oh, yeah, it's because he didn't have it reviewed by critics. It's because there was no pushback to any of his creationism.
That's quite a claim from a guy who doesn't know anything about him.
You can't name a single one.
No. You just took what I said, then turned it into he's never had pushback from anything he's done as a creationist.
Yeah, wait. So what's the creationist pushback?
With no evidence behind it.
What's the review process? So where does he get published now? Is it like the Institute of Creation Research, the ICR? Is that where he gets published nowadays? What's the peer review process for the ICR?
He's with Creation Ministries International now.
Oh, Creation Ministries International. What's the peer review process for Creation Ministries International?
Oh, man. Probably the same.
Ministries International.
Yeah.
Peer review.
Yeah. So anyway, why don't we go ahead and leave the...
Wait, no, let's stay with it. Let's stick with it.
Well, how about you just hear his arguments? How about that?
Wait, but let's see if there's literally any pushback.
Like that.
Let's see if there's literally any pushback to literally anybody he's saying.
Oh, okay. I mean, actually, if you go to the creation.com articles, they have like 11,000 articles there, but there are people in the comments who challenge them. So, that's a place to start, maybe. Maybe they have some stuff on that. I'm just going off of his testimony. When he says...
Oh, his testimony, sure.
When he was... I guess he could be lying about it, but, in Christianity, lying is kind of bad. But, he was an atheist, an evolutionist for 30 years as a researcher, as a scientist, and he was a geologist in China, South America, Africa. And he said it was only after 30 years of seeing all this evidence, like planation surfaces across the continents, like tons of sedimentary rocks that cover all of the continents. 70% of the continents are covered with sedimentary rocks by flood deposits. And even old earthers agree with this, And then he was like, guys, there seems to be some kind of evidence for this stuff. And they were just basically, hey, I'm not considering that. We're not talking about that. And he goes, okay, all right. And then years later, he would see more evidence, and then he'd bring it up again. And then they would say, we're not discussing that. You're not bringing back Noah's flood, are you? And then he'd go, no, how else do you explain how Africa, 60% of it is covered by, a plateau? How else is that made? And then some of the rock in the plateau will be hard, some will be soft, yet there are no ridges visible. Therefore, there hasn't been enough time for erosion to happen. It's just flat. He would say things like that, and people wouldn't hear him. Then he comes out publicly with it, and my guess is it's at that point that he lost his job and had to get a new job. And so then he goes to the people who agree with him, and it's like, guys, I'd like to work with you because I think there's some big bias out here, and I'd like to expose it. Let me help you. And then he joins Creation Ministries International. That's how he describes it.
Yeah. So what's the source that this happened?
Oh, you can just YouTube it.
So I assume the source is him, but what evidence does he provide that this actually happened?
What's he supposed to do? I
don't know, documents, emails, something of that sort.
It's funny because he says that he had a friend who was like, no, none of this is true. Look.
Yeah, wait. But what physical verifiable evidence is there for any part of the story?
What would be something that would convince you?
Like an email.
Like an email from what?
Yeah, like an email from someone saying like, "Hey, this is like a no-go research area. If you keep on exploring this research area, then you're gonna lose all of your funding." Could we like provide the email for that, or is it all just like, is the source just like literally trust me, bro?
Couple things I want to say about this. So you're funny. That's cool. Couple things I want to say. Number one, do you do this same kind of inquiry with scientists that you read?
Yeah, of course.
To be honest, like the last guy you just read, do you know what his beliefs are, and if he's a Christian or not? I mean, do you even know any of this?
Oh, so that's irrelevant, right? Because the scientific method is supposed to be done secularly. Even the Christians are supposed to do it secularly.
Okay, so when these Christians who do this science secularly but come out with the evidence for the global flood, what do you think of that?
Oh, that's just nonsense. If the flood happened, how did the kangaroos get to?
Brother.
If the flood happened, how did the kangaroos get to Australia?
Well, there was a land bridge.
Proof?
Oh, okay, well, you know how there's a land bridge between Siberia and Alaska because of the ice taking all the water out of the oceans? Yeah. That is what happened with Australia.
Yeah, proof?
I mean, how did any animals get there on
Wait, not a question, a source. What's your proof for that?
Proof for that?
Proof for that,
so what are you looking for? Like another?
Yeah, like a source that says that there was a land. So first of all, how long ago was the flood?
4,400 years ago.
4,400, so like 4,000?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah, gotcha. So what's the evidence that there was a land bridge 4,400 years ago that spanned directly to Australia?
Well, let's see. Do you believe in the?
Wait. I don't want to question. I want a source. What's your source?
That's not fair. Okay.
Wait. You have admit that you have. Wait. What is the next thing out of your mouth? Is not a question, but a source. Asking me a question is not a source that substantiates your argument. So go ahead and give me a source that says that there was a land bridge. You're making a scientific claim, so give me the scientific evidence.
Okay. Like a website, I guess. I don't know.
Like a study, perhaps.
Yeah, this seems highly disingenuous, my friend.
Asking for a study is highly disingenuous?
I was telling you believe in land bridges, yes? And then you're going to say, yeah, because...
Sometimes, if there's evidence.
Well, that's how the Native Americans got here from Asia, so you definitely believe in that one.
Yeah, if there's evidence for the land bridge, I believe in the land bridge. Now, what's the evidence that there was a land bridge 4,400 years ago?
Let's work in what we know here in our conversation, right? I mean, of course I'm going to cite creation.com or Answers in Genesis.
Yeah, I bet.
You're just going to throw them out. So, like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Right?
Indeed, I will. Yeah. So what's your evidence that there was a land bridge from this time period?
Just hear me out. You know the Ice Age happened, right? The Ice Age?
We're still in an Ice Age, but yeah.
Okay, but the last glacial maximum, there was glaciers like in West Virginia. Like, you know that?
That seems maybe plausible, sure.
That's what all your favorite scientists probably say that.
Maybe. Sounds plausible.
All right, so that means a lot of the water was not in the oceans, but it was on top of the continents.
A lot of the water was not in the oceans, but was on the continents. Gotcha.
Yeah. All right, so anyway... That's how kangaroos got to Australia. I mean,
because the water was covering the continents.
Because there's a land bridge.
Because you said the water was covering the continents. This makes your story less plausible.
In the form of ice.
Wait, you actually just spiked your own argument.
How so?
Because you said that the water was covering the continents, so they just swam there and then chilled out, waiting for the water levels to decline?
You need to actually hear what I'm saying.
You literally said that the water covered the continents. I have it written down on my whiteboard.
That's fine.
The water covered the continents. Everyone heard you say the water covered the continents.
And everybody probably heard me say in the form of ice.
Well, but all I heard was water. If you mean glaciers, do you have any evidence that... So first of all, how long was this land bridge? And second of all, do you think kangaroos do a good job of passing over ice?
Okay, so there's no geological evidence that we've had a bunch of ice in the Middle East or in Southeast Asia or in Australia. We do have that in Northern Asia, but not that far south. It's just you have a bunch in Northern Asia and it's all the Northern Hemisphere. And then as a result, it makes it so there's not as much water in the oceans. You know, that's why in England, they agree, I don't have a source for this. I just remember seeing maps of this thing called Doggerland, where all of the land around England, all the way to the European continent, was actually connected. You know, the Netherlands wouldn't have had to have big seawalls back then, because the ocean was just shallower. So there was just more land, And I'm positing, and you might not believe it, whatever, but I'm positing that there would have been a land bridge from Southeast Asia. They actually call it Sunda land, all the way to Australia. I do think there's a little trench before you get to Australia, but I think that would have been bridge as well. That's my claim.
That's so interesting. So, so you think that the kangaroos got to Australia like 4,000 years ago?
Yes. Well,
then how do you explain the kangaroo fossils that are millions of years old?
Thank you. I was hoping you'd get to the fossil. How do you date fossils?
How do we date fossils? Depends on the fossil.
So how do you date kangaroo fossils?
All right, let's find a study on it. We can just find out that way.
Well, I'll tell you, you don't date fossils directly. Fossils don't have any radioactive material in them, so you can't do any radiometric dating. You have to date them by the rock that they're in or near. And sedimentary rock also, you can't do radiometric dating with that. You have to do it with volcanic rock that could be possibly nearby. So dating fossils is hard to do, number one. Number two, we can't make fossils today. Like the lab, sure we can. But I'm talking about regular processes today. Rarely ever make fossils. A big old flood with a bunch of sediment would easily make a lot of fossils and then bury it with 50 feet of sediment. You know, that's what happened with the T-Rex over in the Hell's Creek Formation in Montana. You know,
that's so interesting,
right?
That's so fascinating. Wait, so you're positing that all of the kangaroo fossils just got washed up to Australia? What a statistical miracle.
So actually what I'm going to say is that, that's what you're claiming. Only Australia has kangaroo fossils.
Yeah.
Okay. You know there are no fossils of lions in the Middle East?
Oh, we're talking about kangaroos. Maybe you're confused.
I'm proving a point.
Wait. So we're talking about kangaroos. So do you have are there kangaroo fossils in Australia?
Basically, animals can live and die for many, many generations and not make one fossil.
That's nice, but fortunately, these kangaroos made kangaroo fossils
in Australia.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they were there longer. What's wrong with that? That's easy. I thought you were going to bring up the fossil thing earlier. You actually went to the land bridge first. Yeah, but that's cool.
They existed there longer.
Well, yeah, they've been there for a long time. And competition is not so easy with tigers around, and so you get to Australia. All the marsupials are in Australia except for the opossum and this other one in South America, right? So they all were pushed into that area generally because placental mammals breed easier, I think, than marsupial mammals, and so that's why. But so for survival, they're all forced into Australia, and then not long after that, the waters rose again because of the ice started melting, and then now tigers are cut off from the Australian mainland so that marsupials are okay. That's a decent explanation, but you got to think, how did any animals get to Australia anyway? Well, no, you have an answer for that. I'm not going to ask that question. I retract that. You could just say under Pangea they got there. So that's not hard. But
yeah. Oh, so apparently, okay, wait, let's get the study on this one. Sea levels rose, in terms of a land bridge near Australia, sea levels rose around 12,000 years ago, which covered the land bridge.
Oh, but you found something on a land bridge. That's cool.
Yeah, from 3 times a scale factor of 3 times off of what you want it to be.
So you're going to find things like that kind of often because
because your position is wrong. Yeah.
So either I'm wrong or there's something different with forensic science than there is with observational science. You see, forensic science, nobody's actually there to observe anything. So you have to make assumptions. And in determining when a flood happened is very difficult. The reason we land on 4,400 years ago with Noah's flood is because of the witness of the Bible, along with other ancient sources, because, there's flood myths from all over the world and all these different tribes and stuff, but so we can go to that. But with this 12,000 years ago, there were no, Homo sapiens who could write 12,000 years ago. So you're not going to really get any extra help in dating that. The best that you have is radiometric dating, carbon-14 stuff. And carbon-14, no, that would work. Its half-life is 5,700 years, so you can't really use carbon-14 past 50,000. But 12,000, I'll give you that. You could do it with 12,000. I'll give you that. But go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Wait, so what do you think my argument is, and how do you think that responds to it?
So you're saying that it was 12,000 years ago, and I'm saying, well, I guess I would like to say, how do they know that? I guess that's what I'm saying.
Oh, do you want the study? I can give you the study.
Well, I mean, I guess you'd have to read it really quick, but I guess the onus is on me to go read your study. And I'll say, okay, I'll read that. But at least the onus is on you to admit, okay, bro, it looks like there was a land bridge, okay?
Yeah, one that's from just a completely different time period from when you would need it to be in order to account for the flood. So the order of events is that there was no more land bridge by 12,000 years, and then the flood happened 8,000 years later, and then the kangaroos like swam to Australia. That's your timeline of events.
So my claim is that 12,000 years is off. That's all.
Oh,
So-
and I'm sorry, what's your evidence for that?
I don't know enough about that specific thing.
So then how are you making a claim if you have no evidence for it?
Look, man, you were just the one making the claim that there was no land bridge, and you were being,
Well, I don't think I ever said that there was no land
you didn't
bridge.
positively
I
make
never
the
made the.
claim, but
That's
you
not
started
true. I never.
doubting
Wait. That's not true.
No,
That's not true. That's not true. I never made the affirmative claim that there was no land bridge. All I did was ask you for the evidence that there was one. So we looked into it,
That's
found that
true.
there was indeed a land bridge, just not from the time period where you would need it to be in order for your story to make sense. One that's from several thousand years earlier than your supposed flood.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, right. You did not positively say that there was a land bridge, and so you did not actually have, or that there was no land
All I
bridge.
did was
You
ask
didn't
you for
have-
evidence.
That's correct. That's correct. I appreciate you doing the research for me. You know, I'm not really here to Google stuff the whole time, but yeah, as far as the 12,000 year thing, I mean, I think it was newer than that. All I did earlier was to argue that determining ages for things we were not here for is not an exact science, and it is frequently overturned. So we'll just say that.
Yeah, it's radiocarbon dating.
It is radiocarbon dating?
Yep.
Okay. What did they radiocarbon date? Now that you have it up in front of you.
Okay, wait. So let's look through the study. Is there first edition included 17 radiocarbon dates, all that were available. Most belong to the Holocene. First professional archaeologist. Well, there are many here today. Rather, the climate research was shifted. Mulvaney states that you didn't need any pensions to do any kind of study. No permit required. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. What book is this? It's a fascinating topic, but it's also controversial development from early days. Oh, it's from a book. Perfect. The book is Prehistory of Australia.
Okay.
So if you're interested in figuring out the exact samples that they dated, it's by famous comedian John Mulvaney and Johan Kaminga.
Did you say comedian?
Yeah, famous comedian John Mulvaney, or at least that's the name of the author.
Why would he be writing about this? But okay.
Yeah, it's a joke. John Mulvaney didn't actually write it, but the author's name is John Mulvaney.
Oh, okay, okay. What's the name of the book again?
Prehistory of Australia.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
So it dates it to around like 12,000 years ago, or at least that's when it disappeared.
Okay, and that is based on carbon-14?
Yep.
Okay. Also, you need to be aware of young Earth creationist claims regarding carbon-14. So, they believe that because of the flood event, the atmosphere was changed dramatically to being, let me think. I think it changed the ratio of carbon-14 to carbon-12 in the atmosphere dramatically, making the dates a little offset on things. So I'll give you that. You know, that's a good reason. If that actually happened, it would change the carbon-14 relationship. You know, because I don't know if you know about this, but what happens is you get rays from the sun. Ionizing rays will hit nitrogen-12 and turn it into carbon-14. And then you can do dating of carbon-14 because plants then breathe it in. Animals eat plants, we eat the animals, or we eat the plants. And anyway, any organic life really gets carbon-14 in their blood that way. And, you know, it's assumed while you're alive, you just continue to get your carbon-14 replenished even while it decays into the next, I actually forget what the daughter element is. But then, I
think it's carbon-14 to carbon-12?
Oh, maybe.
Let me...
No, I feel like it's not that. Just because. Oh, maybe it is actually. No, let me not make a statement. Okay, but anyway, after you die, you stop taking in carbon-14. So then the ratio starts to decrease, and then from that ratio, that's how they determine how long it's been since you've died. But of course, if at the time that you died, there was either more or less carbon-14 in the air because of a huge cataclysmic worldwide event, that like killed all the plants or something, that would change. Or that released a bunch of volcanic ash into the sky, which is what they say as with regards to catastrophic plate tectonics with what caused the flood, that would then make it hard for carbon-14 to be in the atmosphere, and so it would offset a lot of the dates. People would look at the measurements for things that died and think, oh, it's much older than it actually is. And that's something right there. Yeah, that's one of my best reasonings for why that might be too old. That's what I'm going to say. But, know how they'll say, oh, you see the Cambrian explosion happened between 538 to like 600 million years ago. I don't know, something like that. And so frequently old Earth geologists, paleontologists will throw around millions of years like it's nothing.
Wait, but I'm so sorry.
For me to throw around thousands of years shouldn't be that hard.
Wait, but I'm so sorry because if it's, I don't know if you know this, but if the land bridge gets covered up even 1 year before the flood, that means your story is dead on arrival.
Wow. You think that's being charitable to my argument? Like, bro,
absolutely.
1 year.
How do they cross the land bridge if there's no land bridge?
No, that I get. But you have to admit that dating has some uncertainty in it. In fact, in all the peer-reviewed articles, if it doesn't say that there's any uncertainty, that's a bad scientist.
What is the dating uncertainty for carbon dating? It is going to be accurate within carbon-14 margin of error, maybe carbon dating margin of error. Between 50 to 200 years.
Okay, interesting. They had an error in there. It's just really small. Huh.
Yeah. Well, of course, there's an error in it.
Yeah, okay, Thank you. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You said 1 year, and I was like, bro, that falls within probably granularity and error.
Oh, sure. So I'm sorry, if you'd prefer, if it's even within 200 years, if it's out of the margin of error,
there you go.
Then your story is dead on arrival.
Yeah, if it is proven to be that, then yes, my story would have some issues, some serious issues. I'll give you that. I guess I would just have to research the date for that, but I'm pretty encouraged. I got to admit, we have evidence that there was a land bridge. Pretty happy about it.
Okay. I mean, it just doesn't line up with your story at all, but okay.
Okay. All right. Let me tell you something.
Do you got anything else for me, or should we move on to the next guest?
I know. I've been. You know what? I've actually taken a lot of your time. I got to go do something too with my wife. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm making her wait. I'm sorry. But I've had to go talk with you, Eon. This has been legit. If it's possible, would it be all right if I came on another time?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Maybe next time. I'd really like to do the resurrection. You were talking about that with a few guys ago, and I love the resurrection. That would be cool. Or like
I also love the resurrection. Love a good fictional conversation.
There you go. That or like just the historicity of the Gospels. I really like that. But anyway, all right, man. I'll let you go.
Yep, appreciate you coming on up here.
No problem, bro. All right, bye.
Later. Bye-bye. Make sure you are dropping a follow if you never, ever want to miss a single debate in the future. If you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. It's discord.gg/allegedlyian. I'd love to see you there if you're 18 or older. Live chat's super active. We talk politics, religion, philosophy. I'm very active in there. I talk in the server literally all the time. It's a great place to meet friends. The live chat is always talking in my server whenever I'm live. So if you wanted to talk about the stream with people in the server, you can do that. It's just a lot of fun. We also do a reading group every single Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We do a reading group in my Discord. This week we're reading a philosophy paper on presuppositional apologetics that deals with like questions about like, well, how do we grab from the atheist point of view, things like that. I think that it's like just quite interesting, but it's posted in the Discord. So if anybody wants to join the reading group, join the Discord. It's in my bio. It's discord.gg/allegedlyian. You can get cracked at philosophy, learn a whole lot. The paper is titled Atheism, Reason, and Morality. Genuinely, truly, if you want to learn more, I would love to see you there. And I also notify you every time I go live, so you'll never miss a live because you'll always be notified. Other than that, I'm ending stream, but I will send all of you to go and raid Dean. Dean is live on It's Dean with 2 A's, 2 N's. So let's go raid Dean. I love all of you. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure you drop a follow, and seriously make sure that you are joining the Discord if you're 18 or older. It's a great place. You won't regret it. I love spending time with that there. I know you will as well. So I'll be live tomorrow. Love all of you, and I can't wait to see you all there. All right, I'll see you all over at